This is John-Michael Liles, and you're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media, Newport Beach. This is Missin Curfew. Obes, Updog, and Richie Fella. Boys, how we doing? Updog's got the rainy jacket on. It's rained for the first time, and I can't remember since the last time it's rained in California. Eh?
It's absolutely crazy. Waking up, realized I didn't put the barbecue cover on there. Or the patio.
No.
Sure, she's just in one. But it's nice, everything turns green here in Cali when you get a little rain.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And this jacket, actually, funny, but it's my buddy Jesse's. I was up at his house last year. The mosquitoes were so bad in Sherwood Park during the Edmonton in the finals that I'm like, I need a jacket, bro. My fucking arms are getting eaten. And it's like, it's hilarious. But look at the back. It's like funny car. What does it say?
War Chief Nitro Funny Car.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, actually. It's a nice jacket.
It's so nice.
Nice little touch.
Yeah, so I threw it on today, boys. Rocking a little shout out to the War Chief. But yeah, nice to be in here with you.
I don't have a rain jacket, Rich. I was going to break out the old golf gear. It's the only rain jacket I got here living in Southern California.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, you probably, as our old man always say, we needed the rain, eh?
Yeah, it's good. We needed the rain. Hey, speaking of rain, there's no rain at TPC Scottsdale. I was watching a little bit this morning. It looks gorgeous out there, fella.
Yeah, it's perfect here, buddy. They got the best forecast you can pretty much get. It's not crazy. It's not too hot, but just kind of nice. A little breeze in the air, crisp air. It feels good. So
how's
get over there?
How's the birthday week been holding up for you, fella?
Oh, buddy.
I'll tell you what. I know the overhit on the 12 o'clock self-proclaimed curfew you're going to give yourself. Yeah. That would have been the easiest money I ever made. If that was posted on DraftKings, I would have hammered that down. But
hammered the over.
How's the birthday festivities been?
Oh, buddy. Yeah, I took it a little deeper than I thought on my birthday. Enrolled right into a golf round with my dad yesterday, so it's been a busy few days, and doesn't stop tonight. I got my buddy's opening a new pickleball place in town called Electric Pickle, so we're heading over there for the grand opening tonight. So, oh boy,
that's a good
week. That's just a lot of action going on in Scottsdale.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff.
I kind of thinking maybe we got to move this whole studio action right into Scottsdale.
Matt Miller.
What's holding us back?
Matt Miller wants to move to Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Nothing's holding me back. The only thing that's holding me back would be Big Canyon.
Yeah, me too, I guess.
I wouldn't have a golf course in Scottsdale, but the way I'm playing right now, I don't even give a fuck. I don't even care.
Might be more suited for a public track.
Well, I made my game so bad that I don't even care. And my back, I woke up this morning, back was in one. I'm like, fucking golf's the worst. So to answer your question, Updog, I really have nothing holding me back.
Yeah.
Hall passes our studios here, but other than that,
I think you do great at Electric Pickle. By the way, your pickle game's good.
My pickle game's better than my golf game, I would say, which is insane a whole fuck of a lot, but. Yeah, it is better than that, but not love Scottsdale.
Pickleball loves?
Oh, high level pickleball, bud.
Oh, really?
High level,
I love it.
High level pickleball. Yeah, I love.
Oh, you own that kitchen, eh? You own that kitchen.
I get to the net. I get to the net quick, and I don't move a whole lot from there. I try to establish, a good base at the net.
He's got a big wingspan too, fella.
See,
it comes in, you don't get much by him. You got to get him this moving though. You got to get him moving.
Yeah. Well, I think he'd be probably the kind of player where you go right at his chest every time, eh? Gotta get on his body with it.
You can come at me. Yeah, that's actually, we were playing with Joe D and Stukat the first time they played, and Joe D, his game's a little opposite. He didn't really want to get to the net. He was just hanging out on the baseline. Eh? He's like, this isn't really a workout. I'm like, well, you haven't taken 3 steps all day, but I'm like, and they say, well, what do I do if I'm caught? I'm like, just rip it out their chest. You can either try the lob or just rip it right at them. That's your only play if you're hemmed in
right
back line. Yeah, just rip it at them.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
It stings. I've been hit by a couple at the net that, it's not like getting hit by a puck, obviously, but it does leave a little welt. And you're like, oh, fuck, that stings.
Yeah, it feels good. Don't have things for a bit.
So you think Scottsdale, you think that would be do you think that's just a smart play for you in general?
I'm just, every time we bring on Richie and, shout out to our boy Schmaltzy here, but you guys are always just doing fun shit. Like you've been playing hockey this morning. I'd love to hear about that.
Does that classify as fun shit, playing hockey?
Yeah, with a bunch of...
It was fun.
Yeah? Okay.
We're not just a bunch of...
I'm just asking here, boys.
We got a bunch of old fuckers here we hang out with. And no offense to them, but they're much older than us. And it just seems like you got a good little niche of guys there.
We do. We have a great crew. And, if you want to skate, the alumni do a skate at ASU every week. So all those all the guys come out. They have a great skate. I haven't done a lot of skating, but I played in this Andrew Ladd charity event this morning, got 3 games in, and it was really fun. Me and Commodore were snapping around on it for the team together. 3 games was a lot. That was the fun. 2 we played a round robin. Only 3 teams in it, but
Running
for round robin.
running time. Three.
Running time. One period. I think it was like a 35-minute game, maybe. Running time. So it was quick, but still, like, you only have 2 lines, right? 6 forwards. So you were buzzing.
Was your compete level the same as it was in Aspen? Because it was high in Aspen. The compete
level was good early, and in the finals I fell off a bit. I hit the wall.
off ice activities through the birthday week.
Yeah, and then but it was really fun. Great group of guys and good charity. So, and then they're all heading over to watch the wasted management here. So they got a nice little day.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what a great time of year to do that, right? Like bring in some guys, whatever it is, financial advisors or whatever the case, and then you have a Bloody Mary in the morning. Don't fucking blow your groin out or your knee, and then just go watch some golf with the boys.
Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt.
It's pretty tame. It's just it was some pretty good players that played some junior and college stuff too. So it was good, actually pretty good pace, to be honest.
Did I hear Dustin Byfuglien sighting was there? Big Buff.
The big Buff was there, man.
How's he doing?
He's great. He's just always got a smile on his face. He's got that big goofy smile. He's a great guy, and he's big. He's you wouldn't want to get hit by him right now.
He's fuck did he? You never wanted to get hit by Big Buff.
Oh, I know, but
he was one of the best. Man, he can hit you hard. Like, when he hit that Mark Stone in Ottawa, that thing, I mean, people in that building probably still feel that. Well, that's the biggest seats of all time.
Of all time. Who else did he get? He fucking got somebody else. Well, there's a whole highlight clip that.
There's one where he
got Gabe Baumeister one time, and I came in first guy, and I just got ragdolled.
Yeah.
It wasn't fucking.
Yeah. He was a specimen.
He was a fucking problem. And then when we played them in the playoffs, he was a forward then. They just put him right in front of the net, and he was just all over Lou, and good luck moving him, right? And he had good hands, right? So in tight, you could put a top cheese, and then he went back.
Yeah.
After he won his cups, then he went back and started playing D. It was, I mean, as a bigger guy for me, like, the fatter I got, the slower I got. The fatter Buff got, he didn't slow down at all. I'm like, fuck, you're a freak, man. Like, I saw him after one game in Vancouver, and his fucking tits, I'm like, big boy, what are you weighing? And he told me or whatever, and then I'm like, you don't slow down, though. He's like, yeah, really, it doesn't affect me if I'm this or that. Like, I can still move. For me, every 5 pounds I put on, I literally could feel myself slowing down. He was a freak.
Yeah, he was a good skater. Like, he was a powerful skater.
Even out here at this thing, like, his give shit level wasn't super high, but when he turned it on, like, we were kind of tied late in the game, he turned it on. I'm like, holy shit, man.
Still on it, eh?
Yeah, he's really good.
They just don't make him like Buff anymore, though.
No.
Is there a guy out there that like is like?
Don't make him like really anybody we played with. Yeah, that's true. You know what I mean?
Maybe Patty Maroon.
The big rig. I watched him out there the other night against the old Oilers on TNT. The big rig. He had a couple glorious chances. One back door that he just fired right in Pickard's pad. But yeah, he's still smart out there. His boots are getting a lot slower though. The big rig, but. There's one kid on the Hawks, this 91. Nacers, I think his name is. This kid can fly. He chased down McDavid on a breakaway from like a couple strides behind him. And I was like, there's not many guys in the league that can do that.
If you wear 91. Yeah, that's a good number.
Yeah, he was flying. Yeah. He was just a little water bug on the PK too. I was thinking to you, Richie, this guy was just fucking humming around on the PK. I'm like, slow down, bud.
I don't know this kid. What's his name?
91. Kyle, fact check his name for me. Nacer or something like that. Just got called up, I think. First time I've really seen him play. He was absolutely flying out there, and he was just a nightmare. Chasing Bouchard down the ice on the PKs, and he was a problem. He had a good game. Real good game.
Yeah, good.
The thing about Scottsdale moving back, though, is, and I guess you're going to travel in the summertime, but, like, she's hot from May to October. She's hot, right? Like,
yeah, it is. I mean, I've got a little bit used to it, but you're definitely, like, obviously in the pool or you're inside in the AC. And then if you're lucky, you can go up north or you go back home or whatever. You got to get away for a little bit, right?
How's that air conditioning bill in July there? Does she get a little up there? Or what? She turn her off when you go to Flagstaff?
Yeah, like most people like have like 3 or 4 units in their house, right? Like it's not just one unit. So I think we got 3 units just pumping all times.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you leave, you just kind of you turn it down so that helps. But
the real estate prices are a lot nicer. I know that. That's one thing I do know. That is probably going to be the determining factor for me, in all honesty, is that I'm just going to get priced out here in California, and I'm going to have to jump in the U-Haul and fucking head right to Scottsdale.
Up there with you, but yeah, right there.
Right down to 10, buddy. It's a straight shot.
Well,
basically.
If you get in Whisper Rock, how long does it take for you to sponsor someone? Let's do some digging on that.
I know a lot of guys there, so we could get you a sponsor, buddy.
Yeah, okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
That place is mint too, so we'll see what happens. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but
Yeah. Well, we'll get you in first, eh? Don't get kicked out by that fucker. Come on, buddy. The boys are moving. Kyle, pack up shop. We're fucking out of here. Let's go. Pack your shit. We're going to Scottsdale. Hey, how big is that little office you got there? Can we fit the studio in there?
There's 2 desks in here, eh? We could probably do something. We could maneuver around. We should be tight.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work, eh? We'll make it work. But Richie, I love the birthday week, buddy. Keep it going. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night to enjoy that with you. But speaking of birthdays, a couple Canadian legends. First, let's start with Grapes. Don Cherry turned 91 yesterday, boys. I'm happy he's still alive at 91. What a run. If you would have asked me that Grapes was going to make it to 91, I probably would have just said no, just due to probably his lifestyle when he played. I don't know him personally like that. Like, I don't know if he was a big boozer or not. I just kind of assumed he was. But for him to be 91, there was stuff yesterday buzzing around social media. Like, I'm not one to talk here because I can butcher a name like anyone else. But some of these names he butchered back in the day, boys, Tarasenko and all these names he just would butcher, and Ron McLean would help him out. And then the one clip was like, Ron's like, it's Tarasenko or whatever. He's like, oh, look at this guy. He's a real literary giant over here, eh? Well, I can count, bud, and I'm richer than you.
I think the only thing you did that on purpose, though, was it was like part of his shtick.
Yeah, probably.
Well, no, you know what? I don't know if it's on purpose, Richie, but how much we fuck up names, I think it was just part of his thing, and he just embraced that side of it. It had to have been. Yeah. Because we mess up names too, and we just laugh now, and it's not so much as we're trying to, we just really fuck them up.
Yeah.
It's incredible, but that dynamic between him and Ron forever was unmatched.
He would just abuse Ron. It's great. He's like, oh yeah, we're talking to the players or athletes. All athletes are talking here, not you, bud.
They were such a good pairing, though. They just flowed together so good. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, they were great. I mean, and some of his Rock'em Sock'em stuff came over. He's like, look at Mike Pekka. He would eat you guys alive. And then it just goes into hits, and more hits. Like, it's just awesome.
It's too bad. It's too bad the way it all played out for him. I think 2019. If 2019 with 2000, well, it was 2025, boys. I think everyone would have probably understood that what he said was maybe just Don Cherry.
Yeah,
it's just Don Cherry. Like all the Rock'em Sock'ems that went on for 20 years, we always get them under our tree. Those wouldn't have lasted the last 5-6 years.
Yeah,
you could just saying some of the shit about Russians or whatever. It's like it's just kind of his MO. It was not like he's.
Yeah, it was just it was this obviously like you said, the time of it where he said it. I mean, we've said way dumber stuff on this podcast.
Yeah,
way dumber.
People have said way dumber shit before, and as far as people think that was bad, I mean, there was truth to some of it too. It's like he wasn't just trying to say it. He says there's some bad apples out there, and there is.
Yeah, Hockey Night in Canada hasn't been the same since, Rick. I'll tell you that.
I always wonder though, like why didn't I know he maybe just was sick of doing it, maybe, but why didn't he do like a YouTube show or something and still have like his little thing?
Well, he started doing a podcast called, I think, The Grapevine or something like that, which was a great show back in the day. His original Grapevine show was where the set was a bar, and the boys would come in there.
He had blue.
Yeah. So he did that for a bit, but I mean, he's 91 now. When did this happen? Probably 10 years ago?
2016. 2019.
2019. So not even 10 years ago. I just think Richie was old, and he figured, what's the point? Okay. I'm rich. I'm going to go Kingston, Ontario, wherever he's living, and put the feet up.
He's got to be in Kingston, eh?
Yeah, it's great. So shout out to my old producer, Bruce Bolton. When I first started Missin Curfew, I'm like, Bruce, you got Don Cherry's number? And he's like, I do have Don Cherry's number, but it's not his cell phone. It's his home line. So if you call, you might. So I called and it didn't answer. And it's just like, hi, you've reached Don Cherry here. I can't come to the phone right now, but leave a message. I'll get right back to you. I was like, I hung up and called again just to hear it again. I was like, fuck, was that great? Hey, Don Cherry here. Can't get to the phone. Leave a message. Hey. I'm like, this is fucking.
Let's go.
I called Brucey. I'm like, that is fucking classic. So
did you leave a message for him?
I did. I said, Grapes, Shane O'Brien, Missin Curfew here, fella. I got your number from Bruce Bolton. We'd love to have you on. He never got back to me. So maybe someone deleted the message on him. You never know, right?
Maybe the old lady, yeah.
Yeah, maybe she said, you're not going on that Missin Curfew show, Don. Just sit there in your recliner and fucking put your moccasins back on and relax.
I mean, listen, he made hockey cool for a long, long time.
Oh, fuck.
It was the best.
Fuck, like it was. I mean, it had to have been the coolest broadcasting fucking in all sports.
He was what he had. Sorry to cut you off, Ups. What he had is exactly what Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck have on TNT.
Yeah.
People tune in to watch that in the intermission. Like, I don't watch basketball, but if I see Inside the NBA's on, I fire it on just to see what they're saying. And Grapes, every intermission on a Saturday night, everyone tuned in because you knew it was going to be 3 minutes of gold. And that was always, he's like, I don't have enough time here. Let's hurry up here. Because he was always under the gun, which now that I'm in this business, I understand it. Like, he had 3 minutes.
I mean, we're in production. We got a little podcast here, but how do you think he put together those Rock'em Sock'ems? Those were incredible. You can't think about like someone gathering all the fucking TV stuff from a full season and just putting it all into like a fucking 60-minute DVD. So that's impressive.
VHS.
Yeah,
They on a VHS.
They would have like a big team that cut all the clips, and then he would just do voiceovers.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That behind the scenes of that would be unbelievable.
Yeah, so it'd be like us watching it here and being like, but yeah, he was.
Could you imagine a behind the scenes of the making of fucking? That would be a behind the scenes of the making of Rock'em Sock'em, and it's him with a mic and he's fucking chirping all the guy. It would be awesome. That'd be pay TV.
I had to buy a couple Don Cherries off of Amazon there when the Sprinter van, when the Wi-Fi was shot. I'm like, I'm going to buy some Don Cherries, and at least when I get in there, I can watch that. Yeah. I get in there, and there was a fucking Finding Nemo movie that wouldn't come out of the DVD. I'm like, fuck, this is another tough bout. Who the fuck was watching Finding Nemo in here, eh? A-Hall for sure. He had something. A-Hall had something to do with that for sure. But Grapes, obviously, like you said, 3 National Leaguers sitting around here still talking about you, buddy. You're an absolute legend. Happy birthday, Don. Keep it going, fella. The game definitely missed you, like Updog said. Continue rolling here. A guy that all 3 of us loved. Tragically, have Gord Downie. Would have been 61 yesterday. I said, Gordy, baby, I know exactly what you mean, she said. You both were at the fucking last show. I didn't.
Sure were.
This is sad to even say, but I never saw the hip live, man. It's one of the things that, like, it's on my list of regrets. The list is getting long. It's the fucking size of my living room, but I never saw him live. So you guys did, though.
Yeah. I caught him only twice, to be honest. I saw him once at Pemberton Music Festival with Toots and Sean Avery back a long time ago. And then Richie, it was Kingston. It was their last show, sad show, fucking broadcasted coast to coast on CBC. I was in your suite there for most of it.
Did you have a seat there, bud?
Yeah, you sure did. Yeah, fuck yeah. I was with our boy Travis for probably half, and then you came down and fucking put me in a headlock and brought me right into your...
So that was awesome, man. What a night.
Awesome.
And that whole city, that whole weekend was buzzing. Like, just it was so fun. Just hanging out on the patios, having some drinks, and it was great.
Did you make it?
Was really cool.
Did you make it to stages at all?
I didn't. I don't think I did stages that night. No, I have before though.
I know that.
I lie, but
no, I know that.
No, it was one cool thing we did in LA. I kind of just remember this right now talking about it, but we did it like the LA Kings did a Tragically Hip night, and we played. I think with Vancouver or Calgary, one of the Canadian teams, and part of the deal was like they did a show after our game. So they came, I think they dropped a puck at our game, and then they did a show across the street at like Nokia Theater, whatever it is, across there at LA Live. And we all went, and then we got to hang out with them on party after. It was an unbelievable night.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
sick.
It was like LA Kings Tragically Hip night, which was random but awesome.
Fucking LA Kings are always doing cool stuff.
That's awesome.
I know.
Yeah, that was way back. Like I just remember, I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about when they did that. It was a really fun night.
Is it almost better that they never got big in the States? Is it better for like that it's our Canadian band that they never blew up down here and you just got to, not for their bank account it wasn't, but does it make it cooler that they never really, and in Canada they're massive, obviously.
Yeah, I think to answer that, they created their, the ultimate kind of loyal following, right? Of people that said, if you've seen them in the U.S., you got to see them in a place of under like 500 people.
Yeah.
Which, call it what it is, sometimes that's cooler than watching them in an arena with, for sure, 20,000. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Like what's that little venue up in Hollywood where we saw Dirty Troubadour?
Yeah, like something like that.
That's a great spot.
I think they played the Roxy in LA because sometimes on Spotify I'll say live from the Roxy, and that's those big.
Yeah,
yeah, that's even small. That's even smaller. But yeah, if you catch them in like Vancouver or Toronto, you're seeing them play in a big arena. But yeah, there was a stretch. The Kirk Mullers of the world. He'd come in to like do a PK meeting, and if he heard the hip on, he'd be like, boys, yeah, let's just pause the meeting here for a bit.
We know what they're doing, boys. Block shots.
We're good.
Block shots,
yeah.
200 feet, fucking keep them short.
Let's go. Hey, turn it up. Let's go. He knew where our heads were at, so that's Yeah, that's the band they were for a lot of guys that age. You know, the guys that played 10 years before us, sorry for mumbling on, those guys were buddies with those guys. They all they're same age, and you just said 61 he would have been. He's too young. It was unfortunate what happened. Very, very sad. And 61, I mean, there's a lot of fucking summers left to be fucking jamming out when you're Gord Downie. So it's sad, but an era that we'll always remember. Fucking legends.
Yeah, Rich, I remember back in the day, old Oak Lake there on the boat. There was a lot of tragedy hip being played. It was just part of, and then the junior hockey room, there's always tragedy hip. It was part of our culture and part of, being a hockey player. Yeah.
It really was. It was really sad, man. I mean, it's still, the music carries on, which is cool. We can still listen to them anytime we want, but it's one thing, I guess, about music, but pretty sad.
Yeah, the cover band I saw last year in the Muskokas, the Practically Hip, they were called. The guy at Practically Hip, the guy said, we go to the guy, me and Travis, well, does it sound like him? If you close your eyes, you think it was Gordy. And fuck, I don't know if it was that or the mush or the weed pen, but when I close my eyes, I'm like, fuck, it sounds just like him. But I tried to watch the Amazon Prime special, and I guess what's cool about it is as the tour went on, Gordy got better. And that's what's great about music and love and being around. Like he felt better, right? Until obviously he died. But that's the one part I took out of that. But I couldn't watch the whole thing because I would fire it on at night and I would just want to get pinned. Like they'd start playing tunes. I'm like, give me that ball of Crown Royal. Like call somebody up. Let's fucking go. Like I haven't been able to finish it because anytime I hear a Tragedy Hip song, I'm like, I just want to get tuned up with the boys on a lake or a patio or somewhere. Like that's what the music feels to me, boys,
Well, it was cool. Like I saw it 4 or 5 times live, and that last show we did, it was the best he ever sounded for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wish I would have been there with you beauties. That's where Uppy took a piss on the LCBO in Port Hope. I'm like, fucking A, bud. Right there across from the old game.
I just got Sprinter Van there and back from Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I saw Teddy actually when I got back to Toronto. I went to EFS. I got in there at like 2 a.m. after the show. It's because it's a 3-hour ride back, right?
Yeah, it's a long ride.
Yeah. I got back there, boys. I was licked. And I walked in there blacked out, and Teddy fucking kept me on my feet, thank God. I don't know who I left that club with, to be honest. I woke up in the morning like, holy fuck.
One eye, where the fuck am I here?
That was in the morning, but I didn't know who she was.
Oh, where am I, boy? Jesus Christ, I get an Uber.
Talking to him like, you're going back tonight? You're not staying the night? He's like, yeah, no, I'm heading back. I'll be at the bar. But I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, and it was
commitment.
It was there wasn't a pace car set for that whole day. We were just going strong.
Yeah,
throttle.
Woo. Yeah, where'd you go?
Travis is next weekend in Montreal, but every time I'm with him, I laugh about that experience. It was with his brother, a couple of his buddies, and just animals.
We had a big pickup to the Missin Curfew crew coming into Montreal next weekend. We got Travis. We picked him up on waivers. Yeah, he's a fucking beauty. I can't wait to see him. So, Gordy, we miss you. Like Richie said, the music continues on though, which is the best thing about music. Finishing up our little intro here, boys. Got a couple more things. First of all, getting close to a PGA-LIV deal, which we all need. And big reason why is the bumper trumper. Bumper trumper got in there. Everything this guy's doing right now seems to be working out for him. So this is great for golf. I know it's not official, boys, but good on Trumper for getting involved. Good on for both these sides figuring something out because golf sucks. Like, it doesn't suck, but like you need best on best. The fans deserve it. Everyone deserves it. It's been long enough. And Updog, I just like that they brought the bumper trumper in to get her done.
Yeah, I think he's there to mesh burning bridges or whatever the fuck that you call that.
Lube the deal. Lube it up.
Lube it up. Shove it in there.
Up.
And sandpaper, domer or not.
Fucking get in there.
So yeah, I guess Adam Scott, Tiger, Monahan, had a little meeting with him, a little meet and greet to talk about the best on best and figuring out a way to bring LIV back to the PGA and have what all the fans are looking for, which is, week tournaments that are showcasing the best of golf. And that's what we want. I think there's a way to make it happen. It's nice to see that talks are prolonging and that, this fund of $1 billion, trillion, cajillion dollars that these Saudis have, they're going to figure out a way to make it work because it's for the fans. And if you're going to grow the game, you got to have best on best.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Yep. Boom. Get it done. What is he?
Let's go.
Call himself the king of the deal. He'll get it done.
He'll get her done. I mean, it's a great opportunity for both tours too. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it, but like, I don't know if they're going to make a world tour where there's 10 tournaments where they both play or whatever, but I think it's a great opportunity for both sides, and I'm looking forward to getting it done. Last but not least here on the intro, boys, a little hockey. Last night I watched the Hawks and Oilers. The Oilers came out sleepy, but they found a way to get it done. Thank fuck. But the boys on TNT let Conor Bedard have it. I've been sitting on this show all year letting them have it. You two fucking guys have been coming at me. Doesn't have anyone to play with. He's only 19 years old. Well, the boys ripped him pretty hard last night, and his response was, I don't need to watch a broadcast to figure out if I made a mistake. I'm going to know. Do you like that response out of a second-year guy, like, fuck you guys kind of thing? Or, like, what do you think of that response? Like, he knows he played bad. I don't care what the boys say about me, or should he have been like...
He should have said, Biz, let's watch some of your clips when you played. Let's see how.
Yeah, he could have said that.
No, he's doing great.
He could have said that.
Yeah, I don't know when he said it, actually. Princey, good job figuring
Princey found this. Good dig, fella.
I just think the game last night was showcased. Conor Bedard knew, who was coming to town. He's trying too much. I think we talked about this a little bit, Obi. Like, he's a guy that, he's always relied on his skill and the fact that the skill can take over and win games for him. But what he's finding out in his first couple of years is that skill's not just good enough. And I think they highlighted it that on the panel last night was, although this kid does have all the skill in the world, he's proven it. Without learning how to play on both sides of the puck, he's getting exploited against a good team like this. He's trying too much. He's turning away from pucks. The one shift I saw, if any one of us did that when we played hockey, we wouldn't play for the rest of the game.
Oh, no.
And I mean, you can't have your best player doing it, even if he's 19, and you want to see that he's going to learn. So I just think it's an honest take by the guys to maybe just light a fire under his ass, because if the coaches aren't doing it, they've already been through a coaching change. The coaches aren't doing it. It's like, all right, what's going to change? Like, is it going to be the fact that next year they bring in Ranton in, or they bring in a big guy to play with them, and then what's the excuse, right? But figuring out a way, like if he just went and played Connor McDavid and Draisaitl really hard, and you saw him like really back check and do these things on both sides of the puck that like a young Anze Kopitar that Richie would have played with, or just a young good two-way player.
Mike Richards.
If he played like that and played hard and gotten a couple scrums and just went outside, then Biz would be talking on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a good, honest take.
Yeah.
It's the first.
I have a problem with this though, Uppy. Like you just said, if we did something like that, we'd get benched. Why the fuck can't he get benched?
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
Totally.
Or do that again, kid, or you're done. You do it again, now you sit.
Say what you want. John Tortorella would bench him. He benches Bitskoff like...
That's what I mean. But how are you going to learn if you just keep going? Oh, go back out there, do it again. Oh, do it again. Like, sit the guy down.
Yeah, and
He'll learn quickly.
That's so true. And you guys are both right about. He doesn't have anyone to play with, and you're right. He's only 19 years old. You're 100% right on both. But you don't want bad habits creep into his game right away, right? 100%. Like you want him to learn to play the right way now. That way, when he gets 25 years old, he knows how to play away from the puck. A couple things I thought. Sorry, I wish Gretz would have been on the panel for this. For when Bitz said it, I would have liked to see what Gretz had to say. And I think Bedard's played a lot better lately. Like, I was hard on him at the start of the year. You guys called me out, and you guys were right. That game to me last night, Uppy's right. Like, he was forcing it, and I think because McDavid and Draisaitl were in the building, he wanted to try to, do the behind the backers and this and that. Like, he just really got exposed. I think it'll be a really good lesson for him, and I think it's good that the boys on TNT chirped him. Like, I think if it was ESPN, it wouldn't have been a big of a deal. I think TNT has that much weight right now, and Biz is a big reason, right? Yep. So I think in the long run, it's good for this kid. He kind of chimed him back a bit. It is what it is. Yep. But, I mean, I'm with you guys. He's got to learn how to play the right way starting now. His skill is obviously through the roof, but he has been playing a lot better, in my opinion. Last night was a tough night for him.
Yeah, and what if you saw last night, you were glued to the TV because you took the Oilers at minus 280, but if
minus 270,
if you saw last night Conor
parlay too.
But imagine if you saw Conor Bedard last night, what a different tune we'd have this morning if you saw him play McDavid and Draisaitl hard every shift.
Yeah.
And like the coach said, listen, we're going to put you out there. We're the home team. You're going to get last change. I want you to fucking know how fast these guys play at this level that they're at. And you go prove to the world that you can be, that you've learned a lot in the first couple of years. You play them hard defensively. Even if he was minus 2, you'd be like, fuck, you know what? He was out there every time those guys were. And he fucking played hard both sides. Instead of this, like, he was taking shortcuts and, he's turning pucks over and trying to make extra plays when you just can't do that against a team like that. You got to know who you're out there against. And that was always something a coach would say too. Okay, it's you're on the ice versus the other third line or fourth line, Richie. Play him hard. If you got ever put out there and the first line was out there, know who you're out there against. Don't be fucking turning pucks over because it's coming back at you and it's going to end up in your net. Like, so
That's exactly what's going to happen.
yeah. So I mean, it was like you said. I'm glad they highlighted it.
Yeah.
Richie. I'm glad they highlighted it. Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like too, and I saw some stuff from last night, is his body language is bad at times, and I can't stand that when players do that. You just want to grab him, like shake him, but like he just he was kind of like a teammate didn't make the right play. He's kind of like shrugging his shoulders and shit, and I can't stand that because this just leaks into your locker room and just makes a bad dressing room.
Yeah, I know body language is a big thing, and I struggled with that early. I had bad body language. No, like when I come back
to the bench.
if you knew I was pissed, the whole bench knew. I got better as my career went on, but young, especially when I first got to Van, I fucking Bones would sit me. I'd be
Fuck you, Bones. I remember that.
fuck you, Bones.
It's so hard. It was so hard to.
When you're young and full of common, you're just like, fuck, this guy's fucking me.
Yeah.
And then you're
That's
41,
really
you're like, so he sat you down, who gives a shit?
Like, that's one thing you tell a young Shane O'Brien, right? Is I used to fucking learn how to take the punches.
I used to tell Andrew O'Brien, I fucking loved it. I played with him in San Diego, and he reminded me of myself so much. And his body, I'm like, fella, to take it from a guy who did it, it's not worth it. Don't be it bleeds in the dressing room. Your teammates look at you differently. The coaches hate it.
Yeah,
like,
you want to do something, go out and fucking do it.
Go get in a fight.
Yeah.
Don't come back and smack your stick and fucking sit there and pout, because I used to do it and it didn't help my career, and it ain't helping your career. But he was a great kid. I loved him. But yeah, it was
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's one thing I would share with my son, man. It's just like, fucking, you're gonna get blows, and some are gonna come from your coaches or some teammates, and just like fucking learn to be.
And that comes from playing, right? I mean, Max Domi we had on, and I talked to him about being on the third line last year and fourth line, and then getting this obviously opportunity. And I'm like, how did you handle it? And he's like, my dad just told me, be a good teammate always, no matter if you're playing 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Be a good teammate first, right? And that ultimately, Rich, is the biggest thing. Like when you look at it, it's not about how many fucking minutes you played as a defenseman or this and that. Like, points are important when it comes to making some money, but be a team guy and you're going to be all right.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's great advice you gave him. So
yeah, well, he didn't listen.
Perfect fight.
He's a fucking cop in Rancho Cucamonga now or something, but he didn't listen. But good guy though. Good guy. Hey, before we take a break, let's not forget, check out Princey, Ice Pick, and Kyle Conway Collins are doing some great thing with the Missin Curfew YouTube channel. Check that out. Some cool little clips they're cutting, 3-minute clips of the boys snapping around. Check that out. Also, check out the DraftKings Network YouTube. And last but not least, let's not forget, the show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, fellas. The Missin Curfew. Oh, that was loud. That was good. Dog of the week. Calvin Pickard. He's been the second time he's been my dog. Listen, Uppy said it. I had a minus 270. Anytime Calvin Pickard's in between the pipes, doesn't really scare me. He's 14-4 in the season. Hasn't lost since December 29th against Anaheim, which I think I might have bet that game. That one probably stung. But listen, he played great last night, boys. The Oilers came out sleepy as fuck. As soon as I turned it on, we played in those games, right? You're a good team. You played last night. You got in late. We would have went out in Chicago, so we went and played with a little guilt. They looked like they didn't have enough guilt in their game last night. Like they had too much sleep, like they slept in. But they were turning pucks over. Bouchard was up to his same old fucking. I mean, somebody give that guy a sniffer on the bench or fucking Adderall or something. Put something in his water bottle. But I'll tell you what, this guy kicked. They wouldn't have got the win without him. So Calvin Pickard, you're my Missin Curfew dog of the week. Up dog. It's nice to know that they have this guy that you can just throw him in there. God forbid anything ever happens to Stuart Skinner. But this kid can get in there and competes, man.
Yeah, just to even touch on that, I don't even think it needs to happen to Stuart Skinner. Yeah, whether Skinner has a bad game, to start the playoffs off or not, it's nice to know that you have this guy. Waiting for an injury is probably, the worst case scenario. So I think you're on to something, Obes. The Oilers play just as good in front of this guy as they do in front of Stewart. So a well thought out dog of the week, and congrats on the win last night, fella.
Wow, fuck! I need to.
I love Picks, man. He's such a good dude. I don't know if you guys ever met him.
Yeah,
before. He's such a great guy.
Yeah, he was our third stringer in Colorado, and I got to be honest with him. I used to go in there and fucking go spink dink on him. I'm like, God, this kid needs a little more seasoning down in Lake Erie. Send him back to Cleveland. Cleveland rocks. I'm like, this guy ain't ready for the Nash. I just went fucking spinky on him there coming off that.
You're like, it's not supposed to be me going bar fucking out on this guy.
Right? I'm like, if Landeskog or O'Reilly goes, but when O'Brien in 05 comes down, 5-pack, lumbering down this
5-packer.
But anyways, Rich, he's a great kid. And, kind of got thrown in it, right? Like, been down the minors a lot. Obviously, Jack Campbell got released, and he's gone in there and done a hell of a job, Rich, and taken advantage of an opportunity. And now he's
incentive. He took advantage of the opportunity, right? He's been a third string guy his whole life. We had him in Arizona as kind of as a third string, second string backup kind of thing. He just took advantage of a situation that, with unfortunate one for Campbell. But I mean, that's what you got to do in this league. So it's been good to see.
Yeah, so good on him. Pick, I owe you a couple beers, buddy. If I ever bump into you, I'll buy you whatever you drink.
Oh, he'll drink them.
Yeah. I owe him a couple because if he would have been kicking, I would have been in one. So, DraftKings bets, baby. It's Super Bowl week, presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours, fellas.
Super Bowl
the time has come. I'm happy and sad that football's ending. Although playing golf with you and Lupo fucking yesterday, you guys are probably really upset that the season's ending. I couldn't pick a winner to save my fucking life this year. However, I did take the Chiefs at the start of the season. I got them at 5,500 if they win this game. Now's the time, boys. Who you like? What are your bets? Who you taking up, dog? We'll start with you.
I'm torn because I truly feel like Patty Mahomes is out on a mission. Andy Reid's the coach of the century, and the Chiefs just have everything going for them that could possibly go for them with the Taylor Swifts, with the fucking the refs,
Swifties,
the whole thing. It's all just
the refs are getting a lot of chatter. A lot of people are worried about the refs.
Now, in saying this, you just mentioned it. Loops is the king of the over teasers,
apparently.
And if you look at this game, this falls. And one thing Loops said yesterday to us on the tee box as he probably shanked one off.
He played unreal. How's he fucking a 12 handicap? It's enough, man.
So, Richie, one thing Loops
said. He got a stroke on a par 3. It was 162 yards. Sorry to cut you off.
Come on.
162 yards, you got a stroke.
Yeah, they moved in tee up, eh? It was, a little ground under repair. Little gur on the tee, eh?
We're all fucking professionals here, retired professionals. But
so one thing Loops said yesterday, Loops he's a gambling man, that fella, is, the lines makers in the playoffs really have the NFL dialed in to almost a T. So basically, when you're teasing something, you're getting 7 points. You really hope that game is just that these lines makers are so bang on with the lines that you get 6 points either way. Then you just got to trust that it's either over or under, and that's the gamble. Now, he's been hot. But you look at this game, the line being where it is, Eagles are plus 1.5. You can do a 6-point teaser. You pay plus, you're paying minus 120, so it's not too bad. You can buy the Eagles up to 7.5, meaning all they got to do is keep it within a touchdown. Odds are the Eagles either win this game or they keep it between.
No, it's not going to be a field goal, be a blowout.
And then you
got to go over.
The way I look at it,
it's got to go over 41.
Both of these teams are 4-down teams. That's one thing that, the Eagles are clipping at 73, 74% on fourth downs. The Chiefs, I think, are second or third in the league behind the Lions at 70% on their fourth down. So you're getting 4 downs of these two really good offensive teams to go score points. I think, you look at it's 48.5. So over 42.5, and Eagles at you get Eagles at plus 7.5 is like, it looks like a fucking lock on the paper. That's my bet.
From what you guys were talking about yesterday, it has been a lock for you.
That's going to be my bet is the 6-point teaser, Eagles, and the over 41.5, Richie.
Who wins the game?
You want to know the money line? Okay.
Well, that's your bet. That's a good bet. I want to know who's going to win.
I'm going to take the Eagles to win the game. Okay. I'm going to take the Eagles.
He's got so Updog's bet is Eagles teaser, Eagles to win. What do you got, Richie fella?
Okay. What do I got? This is what I got, buddy. I took KC money line without 120 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I took that, and then I just did a little touch on Kareem Hunt first TD score.
Like that. Love that.
Plus 900.
Really love that. Listen, I picked Kareem Hunt up in fantasy after Pachenko got hurt. Guy's a beast. He's a red zone beast, and that's a great value bet, Richie. I love that at plus 900.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's one of those things. I've got burnt on getting, betting against Tom Brady before. It's the same thing with Mahomes. You bet against him, he always finds a way. There's a lot on line here, 3-peat and all this stuff. I just don't see Mahomes losing this game.
Yeah, it's just
Tough to bet against him.
I said I'd never bet against him again.
Yep.
But there is a reason why no one's ever done it 3 times in a row. But however, no one's gotten to this point either. So they've already done something that nobody's done. The other 2 teams, Pats lost in the divisional round, and there was one other team that lost. Wild card and divisional is the farthest they've ever got. So no team in the 3P has gotten this far. So they've already done the impossible, so to speak. I'm taking Chiefs money line. And I'm taking Eagles teaser.
Eagles over teaser. He's on it.
I'm taking it because of what you guys fucking talked about yesterday. So I'm going to go Eagles, keep it close. It goes over, and I got Chiefs money line. And boys, I'm going to tickle. History would say Chiefs win, Patty Mahomes is the MVP. But Travis Kelce at plus 1,500. He scores 2 touchdown passes. I'm going to tickle that as MVP. I don't know. And you're talking about Taylor Swift and all this shit. I don't know.
Smart bet.
I think if he gets 2 touchdowns, and Patty
might
Mahomes
give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, Patty Mahomes hasn't lit it up all year stats wise. They might give it to him, but that's where I'm going, boys. But I can't wait. I don't know if I'm going to watch it on the couch or if I'm going to go to a party. I don't know.
Yeah, where are you watching?
Where are you watching it? What are you doing?
I don't know yet, too.
I got a buddy's party I'm supposed to go to. Remember Brad?
Fuck, you got a lot of buddies. Some buddies.
I know. I don't know, though. I'm going to go to Waste Management all day, and then I might just post up at home and sit in the back patio and watch it. But,
yeah,
dial in.
It's going to be great. Yeah. I might make this moving forward this weekend. I might just be a Scottsdale weekend for me. So I'll let you know about that moving forward. It's your birthday week, Waste Management, Super Bowl. It's just a good week to be out there. Maybe just grab an Airbnb for the week, right? Airbnb for the week. Fucking, why not?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'd love to have you.
I got Chiefs. Updog's got the Birds. Richie's got Chiefs Kingdom. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. DraftKings Saturday night, lock of the night. The Missin Curfew squad is 33-15 on the year. That is decent numbers, fellas. I lost last week. Richardson's in a funk. Jay Swish is 8-1, seeing the ball real well. I'm going to start off because I need a win. I'm going to take the LA Kings in the freeway face-off against the Anaheim Ducks. Listen, the Kings are playing well this year. I just think the last game before the break at home against their arch rival, you know how it is, boys. You want to go into a break with a win, right? Like, you want to go in feeling good. The Kings are in a playoff spot. Drew Dowdie's been playing great. He's going to be playing hard Saturday night, trying to make Team Canada. I got the Kings up dog at home against the Ducks.
Fella, I am taking the Calgary Flames at home Saturday night against the Seattle Saturday. Listen, Richie's boy Dustin Wolf, heads up, keep him buzzing. They got a nice home record. Calgary right now is clipping 16-9-3. I just like what they're doing, and our boy fucking Wigsy Baby's going to be playing hard too, making a push for that last spot with Dowdy on that Team Canada roster. But yeah, I'm taking Calgary. It'll be a little showdown at the Saddle Dome. I'll be tuning in, fellas. Love it.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch for old Richie baby. I'm looking for a bounce back week. I'm gonna go with the Florida Panthers over the Ottawa Senators, and I like Florida at home a lot. And like you said, last game before the break, you want to have a good finish, but Ottawa's played good too, so it's tough. But I'm looking to get back on the board here and kind of turn my season around, if you will.
Yeah, I like that too. And do you think? Probably no brainer, right? They finished the game, and the Kachuk brothers probably jump on a private bird together right to Montreal Sunday morning, or that's probably how they travel the game. Or
you would think, right?
Those two boys probably.
Where will they be coming from?
Florida.
Oh no, they're going to stay the night.
Yeah, but the next morning, night in, the next
I'm ready to do Super Bowl at their house, and they fly in or what?
I'm looking forward to getting there, boys. I'm looking forward to getting there. I love how the up dog though. He's like, "Fuck Super Bowl."
So when the first games are Wednesday,
Thursday.
Oh fuck! They're not practicing.
Yeah, they're practicing
Tuesday. The practice is really Monday though.
No,
they don't play till Thursday.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You might know better. What's Coop saying with the
I haven't talked to Coop. I haven't texted Coop in a bit. He's
I
busy.
bet you all the guys get Sunday off Super Bowl and they got to be there Monday. That would be my idea. They practice Tuesday, more practice Wednesday. Practice light skate Tuesday. Work on the PP Wednesday. Fucking get her going Thursday, boys.
So you think 2 practices is enough? Yeah.
They're all
There's not
fucking.
going to be much coaching in this. Is there? Like, they just go play, aren't they? Like, what do you
Yeah. No, I don't know.
You
I
can't-
don't know.
you can't overcoach guys coming in.
Yeah. No, I like that schedule. Let the boys enjoy. Let them enjoy the
They gotta,
football game on
they
Monday.
gotta have one day off, I think, before all make them go stay in a hotel in fucking Montreal, right?
Oh, nice.
Can't wait. But anyways, those are the lock of the nights, boys. Get in there. DraftKings, baby. Speaking of DraftKings, top titty. Shout out to the winner, Johnny Smalls. 160 points. Brento, the captain, in 15th. Obes, 21st. Princey, 54th. Kyle, 57th.
Richie, wait.
Richardson, 60th. I'd say fuck, but what happened?
I thought I had a lineup. I was fucking texting you guys. You don't even bother signing up. This is a lock.
Let me see my team. I don't. Did Princey really get 69? Did he, Princey? I made a nice number.
This guy is ball snip, so hey, maybe he needs that. You did like your squad going in, Rich. Let me see. He's like, don't even put a team in. I'm like, I got a squad in, but
It is kind of crazy. Sometimes you'll have like a full-on all-star team, and it's like you get 60th. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I went heavy down the pipe again, boys. I went McDavid, Draisaitl. Listen to my forward line here. How did I fit this under the cap? McDavid, Draisaitl, Rantanen, and then Batherson had a big night for me. 33 points. Max Domi, Orlov, Sandin, Vasilevsky, Tarasenko. Honestly, the big boys, McDavid and Draisaitl, let me down to a certain extent against the Leafs. They got her going late, but I was looking for them to have big nights. Who'd you have? Can you pull it up there?
Yeah, I just pulled it up. I'll break. I had McDavid. Then for the little second center spot, I went Jordan Staal. He's been a little cold this year. I thought maybe it's due for a big game.
Little two-way center, eh? In case you got to win a big draw late in the game.
Maybe get a shorty or something, you know?
Yeah.
And then I went Hagel.
Hey, by the way, sorry, Stahl had a breakaway for a shorty in that game.
I know.
The Kings that didn't bury it, so you were on to something. You were on to
That's
something.
what I was thinking.
Good thinking.
Then I had Hagel. He had a cold night, 3 points. Then Matty Coronado had 6.5, so not amazing. Nyquist, donuts.
Oh, see, yeah, that's what stings you.
And then I took our boy Uyghur. He had a great night. I took that Radish kid after we talked about him. He had a good night. And I went Wolf and Velarde. Wolf was okay, and Velarde had 1 point. So
Yeah,
not good enough.
it's fun though,
Cool
right?
lineup.
Like you put your team in, you're like, no way I can lose, and then you look at, you're like, holy fuck, I'm in one here, almost dead last. So it's a lot of fun. We had our most participants, I think. Kyle, what did we have? Did we have 60 or 64? Let me check here. 64 competitors. That's the most this year. We can get 100 in there, so let's try to get that sold out. The more guys play, the more American dollars up for grabs. Get this guy a Labatt Blue, presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so you can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo,
New York. Well said,
I
fella.
love how they just say beer. Beer. Get the beers in you. Speaking of get some beers, I'm dishing here, boys. Bear with me. I love dishing them every week. I might have to stop dishing so many, but anytime I see some guy do something, I want to give him a blue light, right? Because there's no better feeling than winning a hockey game and seeing that ice cold Labatt Blue by the steamer. And good.
Digging that arm, ice chest, eh?
Oh, which one's the coldest? Or
What's down there?
Oh, that one's nice there. Richie, here, up dog here. Here, I got another one for you, Richie. Here you go, Richie. Here, call that. Hey, you want another one? I'll have one more. Let's have one more. One more. Then where are we going for dinner? Where do I go for dinner? Connor McDavid the other night in overtime. The poor St. Louis Blues, man. They played an unbelievable game, boys. I've been there. I was thinking back to playing the Red Wings or, San Jose. You're hanging on. You're finding a way. Fuck, the clock's not moving. You're like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, Draisaitl tied it up, and then McDavid in overtime. I mean, this goal, the top speed, booyah, backhand sauce to Connor Brown, corn dogs. Connor McDavid, get yourself a Labatt Blue. And Jeff Skinner had a goal the other night, last night against the Blackhawks. He's got 3 goals in his last 5 games. Starting to play better. So get yourself a Labatt Blue, Jeff Skinner. Richie,
Yeah.
did it just take him a while to get going here? Can this guy be an asset to this team? Because as soft as he still was, he's playing better of late. And if he can score for the Oilers, it'll obviously be huge, right?
Yeah, you know what? I've been hard on this guy because I'm not a huge fan of him, but he's just soft. But yeah, he has played better. I'll give him credit. He has played a lot better. But this is a guy they really, if he can play, he can score, he can help, but I just always worry about, his softness in the playoffs. He's never played a playoff game, which is insane, but we'll see. I never want to cheer against the guy. You want to see guys do well, but he has played better, so hopefully he keeps that going, because I want to see Edmonton win.
Anson Carter did ask him last night, where are you going for the break? And Anson Carter said, are you staying at Edmonton or going somewhere tropical? I was like, well, he's not staying at Edmonton, Anson. Like, there's no one in the back of the TNT that can help this guy with his questions, by the way, because they're getting worse by the week. But
Ace here.
Hey, Ace here. You going somewhere tropical or are you staying in Edmonton? I'm like, if he stays in Edmonton, he's the world's biggest nerd. However, he's going to Toronto to see family, so good family guy. That's not what I would do for my Four Nations break. I love you, Pitter, Roxy, Koo, Porter, Smith. I would not be going home. I would be going Cobble.
Yeah, I bet he left something out. Yeah, he wasn't lying. Yeah, I'm going to go to Toronto for 2 days, see my family, and then I'm off to Miami for an absolute bender.
How long is the break for these guys?
Pretty good break.
What, like a week?
Something like that, 10 days.
Fuck, they got 2 weeks, so
10 days?
Yeah, you would think it's at least 10, 11 days. And then
wow, you could go to Toronto and scoot somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. I remember the Olympics back in 12.
Oops, when were you in 2010?
I remember that. I was in, I did Vegas, and then I did Vail, and then I sprained my ankle, and I came back to practice. It wasn't perfect. And I just remember wow, this is like the never-ending break.
I did 10 straight in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
10 straight.
That's one I wish I would have came to Vancouver. We went to Mardi Gras.
Crazy. By the Seagraw. Well,
we went to York.
Stoley Babe went down there.
Huh?
You went down there with Stoley Babe, right?
Me, Stoley, Hartnell, Ray, Emery.
God rest his soul. Rest in peace, fella.
Couple other guys. Yeah, it was honestly the worst experience of my life.
I bet. I can't believe the Silver Bowl's in New Orleans. Like, that place can't be fun.
It was awful.
That's right. You were the boys. I was like, how was it? You're like, oh, greasy. I'm like, fuck, if these beauties are saying it's greasy, she must be real greasy.
And it didn't feel safe. It was a bad call. We thought it was going to be like That Girl's Gone Wild. That wasn't like that at all. You know what I mean?
You're looking for the cameras. Hey, let's get here. Why's going wild here?
We couldn't find a girl. We couldn't find it. It was just,
Well, that must be with that crew. If you couldn't find any girls, there must not have been any then. There must not have been any out there. But 10 straight I went out in Vancouver. Big guy came in.
Good run.
Mac L came in.
The city
was 10. Yeah, 10 straight. I saw JR at the Roxy every night. Hey, JR, good to see you, bud. Every night I saw him. And we had Pracky, Like, finally it sunk in, right, the morning of. And I'm telling Richie, I hadn't rode a bike. I hadn't stretched. I hadn't fucking activated. I was doing some thumping. That's the only activation I got the whole week, right? And I wake up the morning of practice. I'm like, wow, this is real. Like, this is real. And I get there, and thank God AV was still in town, something to do with his daughter or something. He had so he wasn't there, just bones. Thank God, because it was a bloodbath. Like, I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. Like, the boys were like I almost went. I was like, holy Christ!
Citians are just doing back there.
Well, they were still. Those guys were still playing, so it was just. Oh yeah. It was just us slup rocks, but still.
That's the thing, because there was no guys there, so you were getting worked. Like, you never got your rest in line, right? You were just getting dogged.
I got dogged. Bonesy was looking at me, just shaking his head.
Battle drills everywhere.
Just disappointment.
They've got 14 days. Did you guys ever do anything like maybe you weren't supposed to, other than drinking? Like, did you go skiing, like that? Did you ever
drinking?
Just a lot of drinking for me. A lot of drinking.
Yeah.
I don't think chasing the dragon, as they say.
I remember thinking halfway through that break, this is too long. This is too long.
That's when the heebie-jeebies start creeping in too.
Yeah,
that's when the mornings you're waking up for the 7th morning in a row, and you're like, "This is not good."
Maybe I didn't go 10 straight. I might have taken a night off here or there. I'm maybe over exaggerating for the pod here, but I did have a good help.
You went hard.
I went hard, but I never got the bye weeks. You guys played long enough that you got that bye week, right? That was never a thing for me, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, it was nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was a nice touch, Rich. Yeah.
The only thing that I didn't like about the bye week is, and I still don't like about it, is the season ends so much later, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're creeping into mid-June for the finals and all that shit, and that's late.
Yeah, that is late.
So,
but throw a couple more back-to-backs, eh?
But if you miss the playoff,
yeah, more back-to-backs, and it's going like this year. I guarantee the finals is probably going to be like the 20th or 25th.
I mean, the amount of hockey these guys got to play after the break. Get some stretching in, boys, because the schedule is absolutely insane. Continue on. Get this guy a Labatt Blue. Patrick Kane. Most shootouts in NHL history with 53. He went in there the other night. Backhand, spink dink, Showtime. Get yourself a Labatt Blue, Patty. John Gibby, 500 games in the National League. I love Gibby. Play with him down in San Diego when he first started out. He's a great guy. Chill, just a good dude. So Gibby, get yourself a Labatt Blue, fella. And last but not least for me, boys, William Nylander had a hat trick there tonight against the Flames. I took the Flames at home. I love him at home right now. Listen, this guy's turned himself into an elite player. And where I'm going with this is, if you're Brad Treliving, does this make it easier with the Marner situation? Because Willie Nylander has turned himself into, to me, he's more of an impact player than Mitch Marner. Now, some people may disagree with me. I prefer Nylander's game to Marner's. But this kid he was the best player on the ice the other night, Rich.
Yeah, he was very good in that game. He's just so he's just got great style too, doesn't he?
Oh, he's got
to the way he looks. He just looks so good. He's the way he moves, it's the way he handles the puck. He's just got such great, just everything looks good.
And I like his demeanor too. They lost 3 in a row, and he went up to the media, up dog. Fucking everyone relax. I don't think he swore, but everyone relax. Take a breather. So what? We lost 3 straight. That's the mentality you have to play in Toronto.
Yeah.
You got to be chill and just be like, yo, well, don't even worry about it. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
It's not game 7 here. Relax. We're all right.
I thought the Amazon did a nice little dive in on who he is as a person and just the way he carried himself throughout the playoffs last year. And he's a gamer. And I think the more Toronto gets in moments, if they can actually get to the dance, you're going to see this guy at a level, at a playing level that he's never got to. And I think that's what's exciting. And Obi, to answer your question with Treliving, that should be an easy answer if you got to pick one of the two. If this kid gets 50 goals, where's his ceiling? It's probably not at 50. It's probably him going and chasing 60 next year or whatever.
Yeah, if Marner's asking for 13, I don't know what he's asking for, but let's say he wants 8 for 13, right? If you're Tree, you're like, well, I got Nylander, I could use that $13 million to sign Sam Bennett and somebody else, or
get a little juice in the lamp, some grit.
Yeah,
some skill and grit.
I just think Nylander's a nice little fucking negotiating tool for Tree, but rumor is they're trying to resign Marner. I personally wouldn't do it, but no one's fucking asking me. So, Updog, you're dishing a blue light, fella. Who you got?
Yeah, boys, I'm going to slide it to good American-Canadian kid, Eric Comrie. Shutout on Sunday night. 29 save shutout against the Hurricanes. For Winnipeg's 7th consecutive win. Listen, he's backing up Connor Hellebuyck-Diddy, and he's doing a great job in that. But, great kid. It's nice to see him back in Winnipeg and a nice little slot behind him. And like anyone knows, in the playoffs, when something happens, and we talked about Skinner right now and Pickard, but if, in fact, Hellebuyck goes down, this kid's, he's looking for his moment. And in a moment like that, playing against a team like Carolina, going out, kicking, and then Winnipeg getting the offense that they need, it means they can play in front of a guy like that as good as they play for Hellebuyck. So it's just nice to see Comrie, and we saw his old man yesterday on the golf course, and fuck, boys, Bill Comrie is a absolute legend.
Bill's a beauty, and Eric's the nicest kid ever, Richie. He would skate with us.
Well.
Yeah, this guy's, his day of working out, he started at 9 in the morning earlier, and he went right to 3. I remember after skating, I'm like, what do you do? He's like, what are you doing the rest of the day? I was like, I'm going to go golf teed up with ups and loops. He's like, I got goalie practice, then I got a workout, then I got a stretching class, I got yoga, I got vision class. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This kid has worked his balls off. He's the nicest kid in the fucking planet. And his dad is an absolute beauty. And like Up, you said, we bumped into him, Richie. And I'll never forget, he's the best joke teller ever. And he's like, we were sitting there, me, him, and Loops after a round. He's like, yeah, I hear this one. So I fucking come home the other day, and somebody says, you hear about Joffrey Lupul? Fucking guy beat his girlfriend. Bill Comrie said, that's impossible. I play golf with him. Lupul can't beat anybody. Oh. That's impossible. I play golf with him. Lupul can't beat anybody. I just about fell off the fucking chair. I laughed. I'm like, Bill, you are a fucking beauty. You're a beauty.
Great.
And then he had another one about, he went home, and he's like, I went home to the fucking wife there last night, after, and gave her a smack, and he said, why'd you do that? He goes, I've been hitting everything fat today. Holy fuck, did I just about die? I mean, Bill Comrie is the absolute beauty. What?
Oh, man, I want to meet this guy.
Oh, he's the greatest. He's the greatest. He can't beat anyone. I play golf with him. He can't beat anyone. Oh, man. Congrats to Eric Comrie. Good job, Up Dog. Get that guy Labatt Blue. He's a great kid. Keep going. Winnipeg Jets, not getting much love as they should probably. I did want to say this about the Hurricanes. I don't know if Nations was that big of a team or if Brandon, they're not creating a whole lot of offense lately.
Either team.
Yeah, either team, really. I know we'll talk to our guest, Johnny Lyles, today about the Avs, but from the Hurricanes' perspective, not what I expected. They're not getting, like the Kings, good defensive team last weekend. I watched them play. Fucking Hurricanes had nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and then to get shut out in Winnipeg, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of concerning. Like,
This is one you think moving guys like that creates a little excitement, a little power play mojo or something. But fuck, I took the Avs the other night after texting our guests that's coming on. I'm like, I'm hammering the fucking Avs against the Canucks here, and I didn't see anything from secondary scoring. But Natchez, he hasn't quite found his step with Colorado.
No,
since it's been out there.
I can't wait to talk to Johnny about exactly what you said, secondary scoring there and all that stuff that's going on. But be careful, the Avs on the road. I had them too, but I took it because I thought Vancouver was such a shitstorm with the Miller trade being gone. No Hughes in the lineup, and Demko stood in his head, and it's like great. That clip didn't age well. Princey put it out the next morning of all three of us. I was like, the Vancouver Canucks will never be the same. Their team's going to be shit, and they get a shutout that night, and all the Vancouver fans are like, oh, good call, boys, good call. It's one game.
That's okay.
It's one game.
That's what we're here. Clickbait.
I'll tell you what, on my feed anyways, boys, on the Missin Curfew feed, it's kind of a split. A lot of people were happy to see JT Miller go. Yeah, I'm surprised. A lot of people are like, we got a young center in Hedel, and we got a young Bill O'Connor and a young defenseman in Pettersson, and
They're just sick of the noise.
They signed that Pettersson, eh?
yeah,
8 years. Fuck, we just read that.
6 years, $33 million. How are you? Thanks for getting to Vancouver.
That's nice, eh?
That's a nice little kid.
Hasn't even off the plane yet. He's signed. That's
Haven't even unpacked yet. Hey, let me get my toiletry kit out here before you get me.
He's a good defenseman though.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good defenseman.
Yeah, is he? Is he
Yeah,
fucking?
he is. He's a good defensive player. He is.
No, he is. You're right. It's milk carton time here at Missin Curfew. I have no business putting this guy in the milk carton, but I'm going to put him on just to get him going. And this is one of the greatest quotes ever. Anze Kopitar didn't get a goal the whole month of January, and they asked him after. He said, "I guess dry January is a real thing." So first of all, that is an unbelievable fucking comment from a guy who's got 2 cups and still playing and a legend. And hopefully this gets him going. But Kopitar, you're on the milk carton for not getting one all of January. Dry January.
Let's go, baby.
Dry January is a real thing, Rich. Well, that's a great comment.
That's such a good line by Coping. Copey is actually pretty undercover funny like that. He'll have a comment like that once in a while, and it kind of shocks you, but he does it often. He's funny.
I thought it was great. Dry January is a real thing. I had more than just dry Januaries for fucking not getting goals. But anyways, continuing with the milk carton here. I don't want to put him on officially, but Sidney Crosby is banged up. So I'm kind of putting him on the milk carton here for the Four Nations. Now, it's a wrist injury. I saw it I think it's a wrist. I saw him get hit. He skated this morning, like you said, by himself. I saw Steve Sullivan. No, not Steve Sullivan. What's their head coach name? Mike Sullivan. Talk about tomorrow will be a bigger day. I want to know your guys' opinion. Like, if it was McDavid or anyone else, obviously, first things first with the Edmonton Oilers. But when you're Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins aren't going to make the playoffs, and we haven't had best on best forever, are you okay with Sid playing in the Four Nations banged up? Like, you're like, I'm okay with it. I want him to play either way. Do you think that's okay?
I'm 100% in favor of Sidney Crosby playing at 50% banged up. If he's got a tweaked groin, bad shoulder, tough little back, lace bite, get out there and play for your country. We need to see you with McDavid.
Yeah.
We need to see you with McKinnon.
Exactly.
We want to see you with Marchand. This is what we've all been waiting for. Whether you go out there and you play 12 minutes a night, just make sure you have the jersey on. You're fucking, you're competing as the captain and you're in those big moments. I mean, his record wearing a Canadian jersey is absolutely insane. Have you guys seen that stat that came across? Boys, it's
crazy.
It's wild when he
wears the fucking game and
it's 12 games
or something stupid.
When he wears a Canadian jersey, he's like fucking 40 and 4.
It's crazy.
And it's not.
So you're saying we should bet on Canada?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
He slays.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
What Obi's saying is like, when you mentioned McKinnon, like, is McKinnon, if he's half banged up, going to play? Like, yeah, I think Colorado should let him play. I think Colorado's chances of winning the Stanley Cup this year are fading. And I just think McKinnon wants this opportunity to play with fucking, McDavid and all these guys. Rather than McDavid. McDavid doesn't have a cup. Sorry, Richie. And that's what Obi's saying is that's the guy you pull off the lineup. Pietrangelo, whatever. He's already played in the Olympics, fucking whatever. But I think for,
Yeah.
I think he really like it's just big for our country getting these guys to play together. Like they never played together. It's huge, and everyone is so excited. It'd be a huge letdown if he couldn't play for some reason.
It would be crushing if he didn't play.
It would.
I do think it matters that he has his cups and they're not in the playoffs. You know, like if it was any other team that's in the mix, I would say maybe even think about it. But to me, it's a no-brainer, and I hope he's all right. Just something I saw pop across here, and I wanted your guys' opinion on it. Last but not least, before we bring Johnny Lyles in, the rumor mill here at Missin Curfew. Lots of rumors flying around this time of year. Who knows what's true? Who doesn't know what's true? Updog, Brayden Schenn. I saw somewhere across my social media that he may be available. I wanted to ask you, because you've been in that dressing room with him. I love him as a player. I mean, there'd be 31 other teams that want him. The Toronto Maple Leafs would be first on that list if you ask me. But do you think Army would move Schenn ever? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think up until a week ago, I kind of fired this around. I asked some insiders. I think Doug Armstrong wasn't really up to trading anybody until like a week ago, where he mentioned kind of some core guys. I don't know if their names were mentioned, but he did mention core guys. Now, is that, is it Kyrou? Probably not. I don't know. They just signed him to a long-term deal. Is it Thomas?
No.
Yeah, no. Could it be Parayko? Yeah, it could be. The rumblings are going around that Parayko's, good chance he's going. He could be going to like a team like Edmonton, maybe.
There is some rumors about that.
I think that would help Edmonton tremendously. I think Bolton Parayko's having a great season, boys. After a semi-questionable couple years, I think Parayko's now put himself in a spot where he's a wanted man. Brayden Schenn, to me. Listen, he's got 2 more years at 6.5. What team would really want that? But you mentioned Toronto. Like, I would trade him straight up for like Mitch Marner right now. I think that helps the Blues. That gives them a chance to build around relationships with Robert Thomas. I think they're buddies. But Brayden Schenn at this time of his career, if you put him into a Toronto Maple Leafs organization with his leadership, with the way he still plays, the way he fights, the way he's played for Craig Berube before, I think it's a great fit. I don't know. But now Schenner's the captain. He wears his heart on his sleeve, as you guys know, when he plays. The fact that we're even talking about this might make him go, what the fuck? But I think if Schenn got a call and said, listen, will you move your no trade to go to Toronto for the next 3 years? Like, I think Schenner would really jump on an opportunity like that if in fact the Blues wanted to do it.
Yeah, and let's get this right. Army doesn't want to trade Brayden Schenn, but they're in the position where now it's like, okay, what are we, right? I did think they were going to make a push for the playoffs. They kind of scuffled a little bit lately. Going into this break, when they come back, it's go time. But you look at the lineup, and Brayden Schenn's probably the one guy up front there that you're going to get the most return for, right? Kyro's not going to
6 points back right now.
Yeah.
So you're right.
And I mean, the Leafs, Rich, he'd be a great fit in Toronto. I mean,
he would be, yeah.
That's exactly what they need. Some sample.
Well, and I would think like he would be great with Colorado too.
Yeah. No, he'd be great with all
anyone.
teams.
Anyone. He's such a good dude and plays the right way every night.
Yeah, and maybe he wants to change. You never know. Like, I mean, he'll always be a legend. He won a Stanley Cup. They love him in St. Louis. The alumni there, as you know, is you always go back. He's always going to be a legend. But who knows? I mean, things change quickly in this game, and he would be a nice asset for a lot of squads. So I'm sure Army's getting some phone calls about him. But I got a little rumor mill here now that I'm just sitting here talking with the boys. I got Evan Bouchard for Colton Parayko and Justin Falk. Get the fucking Stanley Cup parade fucking route in Edmonton if you got those guys. Parayko and Falk for Bouchard. I don't know if it fits under the cap. I don't care, but that's what I would do. Imagine that.
Yeah. All right. I mean, Edmonton can't pay Bouchard what he probably wants.
Nor should they. Nor fucking should they.
That would be, and listen, Parayko's an Edmonton boy, St. Albert boy. Falk's an American kid, but that's the guy you put in on the power play. Like, either of those guys can take that power play. Imagine Parayko's one-timers with getting fed. Like, you think Bouchard's got a bomb. If Parayko was in that spot that Bouchard gets so open to take those one-timers because McDavid and Draisaitl are doing their thing, I mean, those pucks are going to blow through the net.
So you would go Ekholm, Parayko, Nurse, Falk, Kulak.
Oh, that's the Stanley Cup right there.
Klingberg's so in one. I don't know if you guys have watched this guy.
You've been able to watch me look too good.
Oh, fuck, he's in one. He likes to bring her back more than anyone. I'm like, buddy, just move her up the wall. But if I was Stan Bowman and Bouchard's agent said he wants $10 million, I would just put that game last night on loop. I'll just keep sending them. This is what he looks like. Is he worth $10 million? But I don't know. Time will tell. Obviously, that's just a what's the word I'm looking for? Not hypocritical. Help me out here, boys.
I'm gonna let you work here.
No, hypocritical. No, say it again. Like when it's like not a real thing.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical. Cons.
Don't bail him out.
Fugazi. Hypothetical. It's just a fucking hypothetical trade here at Missin Curfew. Bouchard for Pranko and Falk.
Why is it hypothetical? It's fucking, if it happened, it's the fucking Stanley Cup for the Oilers, right?
I'd be a GM. I'd call in my fucking cap guy. I'd be like, hey, whatever. Nick, get in here.
Let me make this work.
How the fuck do I get this out of the cap? All right. How many things do I got to bring?
Who do we got to tug here? Yeah.
Who do I got to release?
Yeah.
To fucking get out here. So, boys, always a pleasure snapping around with you boys. We got a legitimate National Leaguer, John-Michael Liles, coming up next here at Missin Curfew, fellas. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog Richie fella, friend of the show, glue guy, National Leaguer, doing great stuff with the Colorado Avs alumni. And my favorite two guys to watch on TV are Kyle Keefe and this guy right here, John-Michael Liles from the Wine Cave, fella. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, and I appreciate you taking my text during your, when you're working, you and Kiefer. I just got to vent to you guys, right? I watched intermission, and I'm like, text them on the group text. I say, boys, this is not good, Johnny. This is not good, fella.
Well, you know that you've got a good audience because Kiefer's the most passionate guy ever. He's the biggest fan, and so if you're picking something out, then Kiefer's agreeing with you 100%. And don't think that he's not just in my ear the entire time saying the exact same thing.
Oh, I know. And poor Riker. Riker's trying to spin it into positivity every game. I'm like, not even Riker could turn this into something positive right now.
I'd say, though, these guys are like a win or lose, we're hitting the booze type of guys.
The Altitude TB?
Altitude. Look at the squad they have. I mean, they're not going down with the ship if like they have a bad game. They're fucking enjoying themselves, no?
Best cast in the league, yeah.
Yeah, those guys have a good time. They have some fun for sure. And if you get Kiefer on the road, we've talked about it. He's got one speed, and it's Hall of Fame. Like he's all gas, no brakes when he goes on the road, and he comes off a 3-day road trip, and it looks like he was on a 14-day bender.
I mean, is Riker go running with him or what?
Yeah, Riker runs with him. Riker's like at the extreme. He'll either cave it up and you won't see him, or he's out and hanging with everybody. So yeah, it kind of depends. Yeah.
I like that style about Riker. That's how I am. You want to go, let's go. If not, leave me alone. I'll see you at the rink tomorrow. Boys.
Love it.
Johnny, thanks for taking the time, buddy. I know you're busy. First and foremost, let's just go back to the Aspen Alumni Classic, fella. 2-0 as teammates. I always knew we'd be good teammates together.
Stealing players.
Sorry, Upshaw.
You guys are stealing players.
First of all, what a great event that was, and it was better this year. It was just great, and you and Kyle Quincy looked unbelievable out there.
I mean, Quince was arguably MVP. First of all, like he's even out. He's lost Mouse. You were good too. Mouse, you were real good. Quince. I mean, he was like. I think he's down 30 pounds. I think from when he played, and he looks good. He's moving well. I mean, every alumni game, like it seems like he gets better. But yeah, I mean, what an event. So cool. Just awesome. I mean, we picked up Richie, which was a huge one. You got to stop recruiting guys that played for the Avs. That's the problem is you're like, hey, these guys are coming in. I'm like, well, yeah, he's an Avs alumni. He's obviously playing on the Avs alumni team. We got Richie. We got Schenn.
He wanted
Shaddy.
I go, you're not getting Richardson at all.
Why I have to be the guy to invite the guys that might have played for you. He's retired. He didn't announce it yet, but I had some inside information, and I threw the invite out. I know Obes did a good job of a partial GM for fucking Team NHL. Even though he's Avs, he's bleeding Avs colors over here.
I'm bleeding. My bank dry is what I'm bleeding.
But listen, yeah, we got stuck with a couple sponsors on our squad. I'm not going to throw that out there that's why we lost for the second time in a row. But fuck it, when you took Shaddy, I'm like, that's our PP. That's our tape-to-tape pass guy. You've already got Lyles back there throwing a crispy fucking tape-to-tape backhand sauce. But fuck.
We had a nice back end.
Yeah.
We need the 1D.
Let's be honest. Ben Scrivens was unbelievable.
He was really good.
What did he call it?
Was this Scrivezna?
Scrivezna was unbelievable, but he's been great 2 years in a row, Johnny.
And listen, like Hank played unreal too, but Scriv had like 6 backdoor, just like crazy, ridiculous saves.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, listen, it was an amazing event. I did like the daytime event more than the nighttime event, the previous one, like that kind of mid-afternoon. I thought it was super cool. The flyover was amazing. And the group that we had there was, just super cool. It was a great event.
We had a National League crew, and Richardson was out there with just the toque on. He had the Arizona Coyotes toque on, alumni of both squads, and you competed your guts out. I mean, his compete level was through the roof, Johnny.
His compete level was very high, and it was. I was kind of just waiting, like, for the first couple of weeks after that event. Maybe there might have been like a signing of some sort, like somebody was sending in video of Richie just snapping the puck around and wearing the toque. I was shocked you wore the toque, though. Normally you let the bangs flow because you got some great bangs. Because figured that the hair would be flowing, but
I know.
Hey, you covered it up.
Johnny, I thought about it, but I left the dippity do at home. I forgot at the hotel, so I had to put the toque on, and I was trying to support the Coyotes, get a little juice at Coyotes. But I was so fired up, Johnny. When I played with the Avs, I never got to touch the ice with Hedgie. So
yeah,
it was good to have him on my wing,
That guy still, man, just flies around. Pucks just taped right to his stick. Like, it just stick handle through everything and posting in every time. It's
every
ridiculous.
post.
Yeah.
Posting every shot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everyone knows this about Milan Hajduk, but he's one of the best guys to sit in the dressing room with, too. Like, obviously a great player, but, like, Hedgie, his accent's funny, his laugh's funny. All he wants to do is joke. Like, I mean, just being in there with him, Johnny, I used to love playing with Hedgie. It's just, he's the best.
He is the best. And, we do a bunch of mountain events. We do Aspen, obviously, but we're doing Telluride next weekend. We've done it for, I think this will be our 4th year. And we got 12 guys coming in. And Hedgie is, like, always one of my first texts because, first of all, everybody loves him. Like, all the fans love him. Obviously, his jerseys in the rafters at Ball Arena. But then, like, seeing him on the ice and him in the room, like, he's just like, Hedgie, you want to do this? He's like, yeah, sounds great. Like, never a no. It's just like, yeah, sounds great. Let's do it.
And he's always got the wine going and the purple teeth. And
Oh, yeah.
He does like the rouge. And,
If your jersey was hanging in the rafters too, you'd have wine teeth everywhere you go. We have another glass. So I'd set jersey up there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a National League crew. Both teams it was an unbelievable experience. And Johnny, I wanted to ask you, like, what you thought about my shift lengths. Like, did I keep them too short, or what did you think about what do you think my average shift length was if you had to ballpark it, fella?
Oh, man. I will say they were better this year than last year. Yeah. So a little bit more. Yeah, you had a little bit longer shifts this year, but I think the first couple they were real short. Yeah. And then you got into the flow of the game, and then they kind of got up into that, like 45 to a minute. But first couple of shifts, it was like 22 seconds, and I looked at Shaddy. I was like, oh no,
already. It's coming. My first shift might have been fucking 8 seconds. I went D to D. I'm like, let's go. That's good. Change it up here. Let's go. Get out there, Johnny.
Yeah, no, it was Shaddy and I were looking at each other like, all right, I guess we're going 4D, and it's gonna be quick.
Hey, I had to call Big Bears from. I go, Bears, how many forwards you got up there? He goes, I'm the extra 4. I said, slide back here. We're going 5D, big boy. Get back here.
Bear plays forward in our alumni events because he doesn't skate backwards too much anymore. And when you called him back there, I don't think he was in his comfort zone.
No, a couple times late, the game was close, and we're like, Bears, back out. He's just going forward. We're like, get on there, big boy. There's no pulling out for Bears. He's just that way.
No, he's got the turning radius of a aircraft carrier at this point. It's not a quick turn back.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, a little bit about, so you're stationed there in Vail, got the wine locker there. It's beautiful. I heard you on a podcast not too long ago talking about, the fantasy camp that went on there this summer with our friends at Quench. Shout out to my boy, Johnny Salenza. Quench, great little brand. But anyway, you got the minds of the McKinnons, McDavids, you have Marchand there, these guys who are now going to face off in the Four Seasons together. What out of that sort of fantasy camp kind of, in your backyard kind of stood out to you of seeing these guys maybe with each other, skating with each other, with an opportunity within months to go play, for their country together? Was there anything that stood out that maybe you could share that really kind of enlightened you?
Well, man, it was really cool because they kind of shut down the rink in Vail, and Sid's run this camp a number of times. It's been a few years since he's run it. But knowing some of those guys, I was able to just go in, and I actually brought my daughter. She's playing travel hockey for the first year. And, so she's 9, loves Nathan McKinnon. And so Nate was gracious enough to sign her jersey and do a picture with her. And just talking with him and Matthew Tkachuk and Connor McDavid and Sid and all these guys. And then you watch them on the ice. And I'm trying to think. I mean, it's been a little while, but I think it was McDavid, McKinnon, Tkachuk was one line on one team, the top line. And then it was like Marner, Taylor Hall, and Sid on the other as the top line. And they were going back and forth on, like, it's not all just scrimmage. It's like high intensity. Tkachuk told me after day one, he's like, I honestly can't believe how fast and how hard these guys are going. And this is first week of September. And but Sid, I mean, he's always at that elite level. And I think the coolest thing for me was seeing McDavid and McKinnon on the same line, which we'll see in the Four Nations tourney. I mean, it's just, I was so thankful I was retired just watching that. Like, well said. This is crazy. And the speed they do everything at, and it's super cool because you see the contrast between Connor and Nate and like the explosiveness, but they're explosive in different ways. McDavid, it's so smooth out of every break. And it's still like fast, right? It's still explosive, but everything is so smooth. It just looks so easy. And Nate is explosive every direction that he goes. And to see kind of the two of them side by side snapping the puck back and forth, even just in a 2-on-0 drill, but just to see kind of the flow of Connor and then Nate's just kind of explosiveness in his own way was really cool. And getting to watch that firsthand. I mean, it's just like seeing that, like the players out there. I mean, it's just, like I couldn't even explain it to my daughter. Like she knows who a lot of the players are, but just to explain it to her, like how good of a level. Like Chuck told me, he goes, I don't even know what to do when I'm on the ice with McKinnon and McDavid. He's like, I just go behind the net, and then if they cycle it down, I'm like looking for a pass. He's like, or I go to the front. I don't even try and like get in the way of what they're doing because they like, and he's an unbelievable player, unbelievable kid. But like just the two, like McDavid and McKinnon and the way they think the game and the speed, it was super impressive.
Wow. Yeah, Johnny, you're just kind of playing off, superstars. I kind of want to throw back a little bit. And it was my first training camp with the Avs. And it was 2003 when you guys signed Korea Solani. Yeah, I walked in that dressing room. I couldn't even speak. I was so intimidated and shy. I was 18. But that was my first training camp. And that was like the craziest lineup you've ever seen on a team, just packed with Hall of Famers. How was it playing with those guys? And like, I don't know it didn't work out in the end with a cup or anything, but I mean, it's probably the best team on paper I've ever seen.
Oh man, it was super cool. I think I was 22 at the time when I made that team, and DJ Smith was actually supposed to be the sixth defenseman.
Yeah.
And God, he had an eye injury in camp, and so somehow I ended up making the team as the sixth defenseman. But being in the room with those guys, like I mean, it was Forsberg, Tanguay, Hayduk, Sakic, Korea, Solani were our top two lines. Then you had Blakey and Footy on the back end with Derek Morris. And Martin Skula and Strastons, and like our lineup, it was really, really good. And yeah, we didn't win a cup that year. We lost to San Jose, I think in 6 games in the second round. But I mean, those guys are just they're amazing guys. Like some, like Joe's still one of my closest friends. And just like what those guys did every day, whether it was off the ice, like I learned so much from Rob Blake as a young defenseman, and Adam Foote and Derek Morris, and like just on the ice, off the ice, but also playing against those guys every day in practice. I mean, I think Forsberg practiced like 6 times that year. Like his leg was out.
Never practiced, right? Like,
no,
he's never run for games.
Yeah, and he would just play games, and he'd miss 2-3 games. He'd have a practice, and then he'd play 6 games, and then he'd miss 4 games, and maybe have a practice, maybe not. But like Joe and just like the intensity, like Joe's sneaky intense, and competitive. So like he'll joke around and whatnot, but when it comes down to it, like he hates to lose more than anybody. And like you saw that in practice every day. And I saw that later in my career playing in Boston with Bergeron and Marchand and those guys. The way that they practice on a daily basis, it elevates everybody, and they hold you to that standard where if you're below that, it's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
No.
By the way,
That was the most scared I've ever been in my life.
yeah, and Richie, you won a cup, but my good teams I put on Vancouver, Nashville, our practices were fucking crispy and good, and fucking boom, 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 get off the ice. Twins were good. Kess was like that. The good teams have good practices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, yeah, I learned that early on. Like, and you know, I had Joel Quenneville as a coach, and like, it was like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but everything was like, right? Like we did the same drill every day, 90% of the season.
That stupid passing drill, you remember you had to hit the 3 lanes? Ellie, he was just yelling,
Crispy. Take a full slap shot at a guy's backhand.
Yeah.
Take a full slap shot pass at a guy's backhand, and if it hits his tape, Quenneville loved it. Like it would go down the end of the ice, and he loved it. Hard pass, love it.
Oh, I love this guy even more. Yeah.
crispy. Oh, that's all he yelled the whole time. He was just such a beauty.
That is unbelievable.
The NHL's missing him, by the way, right now.
I know.
mean, all the
He probably
coaching
doesn't want to
changes.
coach. He's like, fuck it.
Oh, he does, actually.
Does he? Does he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to get back.
Coaches just want to coach, eh? Like Bill Belichick going to you, like North Carolina. Like coaches just want to coach. They love it, huh? Like I just don't get it.
Yeah, they fuck him. What's better than the road and fucking getting behind
Chileno
the bench?
Bay.
Yeah, no, but getting
Chileno Bay.
getting behind
It's
the
fucking
bench
better.
and fucking chirping some guy,
Yeah.
I think they just get bored being home. Fuck, I mean,
Guy falls back to their wives for sure. Yeah, they got.
no, but it's like those moments, and we all miss it as ex-athletes, but the coaches, they're doing it into their fucking 40s, 50s, 60s, and Quenneville, when you're really that good at it and you have those moments, I don't know if you're ever really like totally checked out. I think I think you wake up and you kind of like, fuck, I thought of this. I want to implement it into my group, but where's my group at? What the fuck? This is a golf game,
You've done it so long, right? I mean, yeah, like you've done it so long. It's who you are, right? And I mean, I don't know, like you go so long with you're told where to be, you're told, what shape you got to be in, when your games are, when your practices are, and like all of a sudden that goes away, whether it's a player or a coach, and you're like, I don't know, yeah, like that's the biggest thing. You're told what to do since you were like 10 years old, right? And coaches are a little different, but like call it, 30 years old, they start coaching, and they've been doing it. Joel did it for 2 decades in the NHL, and like it just doesn't turn off, right? I don't know.
And Johnny too, like he was such a guy's guy. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember when we went to Vegas at the start of the years and he'd be playing craps with all the boys and just, oh my! I never laughed so hard in my life. He's so pinned. It's just that voice and just, come on, baby, start to ice.
Just playing craps. He had Scott Hannon in a headlock at the craps table. Like Anders like negotiating our practice the next day. Do you roll a hard 8 here? No practice tomorrow. And she was like, yeah, no practice tomorrow.
But he just loves the boys. He loves the game, loves being around the guys. Guy's guy.
Billy Brookbank played from in Chicago, said the same thing. 4 drills, greatest guy ever. Like,
yeah.
No, coaching, like standing on the bench and riding on the plane, that's nice. But the other stuff that goes into it, that's got to be like, it takes a lot of time.
I think the head coaching job, boys, you might be agreed or no, but the head coaching job is different than the assistants. The assistant job gets old, fucking videos and fucking running the meetings. The head coach, this is his group, right? He just commands. He's commanding, and he's got his plays, and he fronts the camera, and he fucking calls the guys in and talks to them, but he's not like, having to show up at fucking 6 a.m. and tell this guy to watch these videos. The head coach, he's
a puppet master, right? Like, how do you get 23 guys to perform their best? Like this guy doesn't perform on, by getting yelled at. You got to like know all those subtleties. And like you said, the assistant coaches, man, like it's a grind. Like I mean, you're at the rink way more than you were as a player and watching more video. I mean, I just remember Pierre Turgeon, like one of my first years retiring in Colorado. He took an assistant coach job with the Kings, and he's like, I live in Manhattan Beach. He's like, I haven't seen the ocean, and I've been there for 6 months. He's like,
fucking stuff
to miss. The rink at midnight, and then I go to the rink at like 7 a.m. He's like, it was a lot. Like I just remember him telling me that. I'm like, yeah, that's no joke. But like he's like, just try it for a year and see if you like it. He goes, yeah, my wife walks on the beach every day, and I never get to.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny too, like with the Q, like he was almost like a player though. He'd be in the. One day I was sitting in the steam room. He came in naked and shaving in the steam room. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, Yeah, I just remember, like, even on breaks, like, we would come up here to Beaver Creek to Ritz.
Yeah.
And, like, Q would be staying at the Ritz on the break and like at the bar with us on the break. And, you know, he'd be like, how was it today, boys? You know, like he's skiing, you know, Hannah and I are snowboarding, like, you know,
That's awesome.
What a beauty.
That's how coaches should. You should want to be around your coach. You shouldn't want to like, oh fuck, there's a coach. I better get out of here. That's probably one of the big reasons he's been successful. But I mean,
he was a true players coach.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. Just yelling crispy though. It's fucking all the way. Crispy. Yeah, I love that shit. It's the best. Yeah. Joey, I want to move on here, buddy. I talk about the big trade. Obviously, you know, it's kind of old news, but not really. It shook the whole NHL. It shook the Avs. It shook the alumni. I was texting Kiefer. Did you see it coming? What are your thoughts 3 weeks after now? Or like, what was the internal thought at altitude and guys that are in the city?
Well, first of all, I didn't see it coming. I don't know that anybody saw it coming. I mean, when you first get the text, Rantanen just got traded. Like, we have a broadcast group text, and it came through. Kiefer was in the movie theater, by the way, with his daughter, and watching what is it, Moana 2 or something? Yeah. Okay, and so he's like, my phone's going off like a firecracker in this movie theater, so he had to check it, and he saw that Rantanen got traded, and we were all just like, wait, what? And now there's, you know, like, there's rumors it's Kotkaniemi coming back or whoever, and so I just was like, all right, let's see who we got. Necas, I mean, listen, Necas is unbelievable skater. You know, really, really good player. He's looked really good with Nate so far. Similar type of player with Nate, but once again, like, I always talk about like the NHL, like you adapt, right? Like I was a power play guy early in my career. By the end of my career, I was a penalty kill guy. Don't know how that happened, but like you find a way to stay in the league at times.
Exactly.
And so I had to start playing defense and blocking shots. And so it's like, okay, well, Marty Necas used to carry the puck up 90% of the time with Carolina, similar player to Nate. Well, all you got to do is defer to Nate. If Nate gives it back to you, then you carry it up, right? And then if Nate's got the puck, he's going to draw 2 guys to him more than likely. So just get open. And like, that's the adaptation. Like, if he can do that, and I think he's starting to kind of realize that, you know, like, that Nate is the guy and he's kind of, you know, he's the sidekick, but you could get 100 points being the sidekick. You know, I think the Avs got a really good player in Marty Necas, and Jack Drury's been, I think, better than advertised as well. I think he's got a little bit more of a role in Colorado maybe than he did in Carolina. I think he's fit in nicely. And, you know, when you look at the trade overall, like, losing Mikko Rantanen sucks. I've said this to anybody that's asked, right? Like, he's a call it top 5, you know, at worst top 10 player in the league. And those don't grow on trees when they're that big and they have that much, you know, that success and those hands and that shot. But it was always going to be, I texted you this, it was always going to be McKinnon and Makar. That's like Rantanen's always going to be third on that list. And so the Avs, I don't know if it was the McKinnon contract per se, because Mikko made more than Nate until Nate signed that extension. So it's not like, I don't know. I know people were speculating on that. I think Avs had a hard number, and they were looking at it regardless of where the cap was going, because we all know the cap was going to go up, and I'm guessing they had an indication of where those numbers were going to be when that trade went down. But there was that number that they were comfortable with, and all of a sudden you're kind of looking at that number and you're looking at your depth, and you're saying, okay, are we comfortable doing this, knowing the Makar extension takes priority over the Rantanen extension in my mind. And so it kind of hit that point where it was like, okay, you got a chance to get Necas, you got a chance to get Drury. I think it does help their window maybe make it a little bit longer when you have McKinnon and Makar where they are. But losing Mikko Rantanen, it sucks having to do that. But I do think it allows them to build maybe a stronger team with some of that flexibility, you know, that cap flexibility. And you still get a really good player with Marty Necas. Now, Marty Necas, if he performs in the playoffs, I think the sting is way less.
Yeah,
that's what I'll say. That's the biggest, I think, caveat is if he can perform in the playoffs, I think it stings way less. But that remains to be seen at this point. And man, it's like never saw it coming, never thought Mikko would get traded, but in the end, I do see why they did it. It's just not an easy pill to swallow, especially for Avs fans.
Yeah. Johnny, that's well said. And for me, and maybe I'm wrong, you guys all could jump. Like, you guys, they want to Stanley Cup there. You know, if you're thinking about trading Rantanen, would you not go talk to Nathan McKinnon and Jared Bednar and be like, hey, fellas, you know, we're thinking about doing this. Like, what do you, like, I don't know the numbers. Like, maybe it was never going to work financially, but Richie, you have a Stanley Cup. I think if I'm the fucking GM, I'm going to my best player and head coach and McCarr and being like, boys, I'm thinking about doing this. Like, is that not how it works? It's a business. I get it, but I would still run it by these guys.
Man, it's such a fine line because if you do that, right, that opens a dangerous, like, to me, it opens a door that, like, who's to say, I'm not saying Nate would do this, but I'm just saying, who's to say it doesn't go to Mikko, right? Like I just feel like that's a really interesting precedent. And I don't know if I was the GM, I don't know that I would be going to Nathan and saying, hey, here's the deal, right? Like, I'm looking at the overall picture, whereas as a player, I think sometimes things can be emotional because, one, like you said, they won a Stanley Cup together. They've been together for 10 years. Like, he's always going to want that player with them, I think. And so as a GM, I think that's, you know, one of the hardest things to do is kind of, you know, just kind of cut emotions out of it.
Yeah. Well, Johnny, too, right? As a GM, you got to look at the big picture, not just today. And obviously, every player is going to say, we want this guy on our team. Who's not going to say that about Rantanen? So
I'm talking about guys that have won together here, boys. I'm not talking about I'm talking about they won a fucking Stanley Cup. Yeah. They're both in their prime. Fans love them. Everyone fucking loves them. I'm not
know the answer. They already knew the answer to that. Obviously, they're going to say, yeah, we want this guy. I know, and you've got to make some decisions that are tough, and you can't go to every player because then it's, you know, you're.
Yeah, I didn't say every player. I said McKinnon and McCarr.
Yeah, I'd like to second. I'd like to just.
I don't care what Parker Kelly thinks.
Yeah.
Johnny,
I think McKinnon and McCarr have that respect, and I do think that the respect level is there from management that they could have. I'm just saying, if I'm the general manager, that wouldn't be my course of action, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just to second this, boys, and I'm not trying to stir the pot, although I'm pretty good at it.
Stir it.
Is Johnny, like, you put yourself in the room. I mean, you're in there a little bit, but like all the stuff last year with McKinnon out of shape, Rantanen, like, you know, the Finnish media from Lekkonen's agent, whatever, he's out of shape. Like, was there any turmoil at all in the room that could have said, like, you know, fuck, you know what? He could be expendable, and you can never pay the big three. Like, how many teams can actually pay three guys max deals? Like, that's very rare in the NHL. But was there anything? Like, I mean, not that you have to say it, but like, was there any commotion in the room?
I'm aware of.
Yeah. So then this would be just the GM going, fuck, I'm going to shake it up. You know.
Yeah, and Johnny, let me ask you that then, because I don't know Chris McFarland, and I guess I got a 2-point question. My first would be, how involved is Joe still in these conversations? I don't know if you know that on the deal. I'm just curious as an ex-player and a fan of the Avalanche. And say what you want about this Chris McFarland, he's not fucking scared to pull the trigger. Like, he changed the whole goaltender situation.
Worst trade in the history with Bo Byron, by the way. Worst trade. That's what I think.
Yeah, that
worst trade ever.
That was not.
But 6 months ago, it actually looked pretty good. You know,
worst trade ever.
Sorry, middle stat. Hey, I love Bo Byram. I think he's a tremendous player. Bo Byram, like right now on their roster, he would be like a huge addition, right? They've been trying to get that to center, and Middlestat played well down the stretch and in the playoffs. He played well to start the season. He's had an epic struggle since about November 1, call it. And so, yeah, like, looking back, does that trade look tough? Absolutely, it looked tough. But at the time, like, they're looking at the number, like, they've been trying to address the number 2 center position since Nazem Kadri signed with Calgary. Right?
100%.
And you went for Ryan Johansson, didn't work out. You went for Middlestat. It remains to be seen. Like, if he can get hot here down the stretch, then obviously it's a little bit of a different conversation. But yeah, Chris McFarland, not afraid to pull the trigger. Completely changed their goaltending. Both goalies. Like, nobody saw that coming. Yeah, there were rumors because the goaltending was subpar to start the season. So all of a sudden you get Wedgwood, and that's like, okay, we got a little bit of mojo back there, and bam, Blackwood like 10 days later.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I mean, Mackenzie Blackwood's been unbelievable for the Abs so far. Like, he's been tremendous. And like Ryan Miller works for San Jose, and I've said this to a few people. Like, I was texting with him, and he goes, "Listen," he goes, if he plays up to his ability level, he'll be the best goalie the Avs have had in a long, long time. Yeah. And right now, like, it looks like a pretty genius trade. I mean, you give up Kovalenko, which isn't ideal. You give up a second round pick, and you give up Georgiev. Like, to me, that's a pretty good trade for a starting goalie that they just signed to a 5-year extension as the 18th highest AAV among starting goalies. Yeah, I like it.
That was a great trade.
Yeah, no, it's like he doesn't have really middle ground, this McFarland. He just goes for the fucking gusto here. He makes the big moves, and then it's like, holy fuck, fella. Like, wow.
Well, you asked too, is Joe still involved?
Yeah.
Joe's still involved. Like, I think C-Mac has these things that he's looking at, and I'm sure Joe has an opinion. He's still around. I mean, I see him at almost every game I work. He's up in Stan Kroenke's box most of the time with C-Mac. So, he's still around and still involved. Now, on a day-to-day basis, in turn, like for I don't know if he's necessarily day-to-day, all that stuff, but he's still around. He loves the game too much. He's too competitive, like I said, to not be involved.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And, listen, the reason I'm really upset about everything that's going on here is because they used to be my lock. They used to be my lock. Avs at home, even Avs on the road, they were my lock. I guess where I'm heading with this, Johnny, I still pulling for them, obviously. I always will. What are the expectations now? Are they still a Stanley Cup contending team? Like, you follow the team very closely. Like, have the expectations changed at all, or is this still a good hockey club that's figuring out some new pieces?
Listen, I think they're still a good hockey club. Would I have them in like my top 5 at the moment? As a Stanley Cup contender, I would say that probably not at this point in time. Now, I mean, they've got the high end guys to do it. You've got like some depth guys that need to step up. They need that depth scoring more. But Val Nichushkin's coming back after 4 Nations, which is a big piece. Great. I still think Gabe Landeskog at some point laces him up this year. Now, mind you, he's been out of hockey for 2+ years, so I don't know if that's like, what that is, what that means. I still think he's going to give it a go. He's skating at morning skates. He's around the guys, and that's something that we haven't seen consistently throughout last year and early this year. So I do think that, there's a possibility of that ramping up and him joining up. So all of a sudden now you've got some, got a nice luxury on the wings when you look at, you got Lehkonen, now you have Natchez, you've got Jonathan Drouin, and all of a sudden you throw in like Val Nichushkin he missed the early part of the year, and then now he's been hurt for a little while. Like, that's a guy, like, he can be a game changer on the wing. He was one of the Avs' best players in 22 when they won the Cup. So I think there are some pieces that will help down the stretch. I do think they're not done in terms of trades. But once again, like, when you look at like JT Miller or somebody like that, like, there's a dozen teams calling on JT Miller, right? So in the end, it's like you're battling all, like, most teams are fighting for the same guys, especially the teams that are either full contenders or they're right on the cusp, and maybe that guy puts them in the conversation. And it becomes harder and harder to pry those guys away when everybody seems to be in on the same guys, is what I would say.
Yeah. Well, and Johnny, they do need to make a move for some more depth. I would think you would agree on that, to really have a chance to push them to the next level.
Yeah, I think so. And what I would say too is, I mean, the Randon trade, like, it does give them a little, like, that flexibility, I think, going forward to add, maybe better depth, where maybe you're not playing 2 or 3 AHL guys on your third and fourth lines, and you've got some of those guys. Like, I look at the 22 team, right? Your third line center is JT Compher. You have Andrew Cogliano on the fourth line. Yeah. Darren Helms, the center of the fourth line, right? Like, those are guys that you need to win, right? Yeah. And I didn't win a Stanley Cup. You did, but you were a key piece in that, like, as a depth piece, and it makes a huge difference when you're making those runs.
Yeah, and guys that enjoy that role too, that's key too, right? They don't start complaining, they're happy in that role and they thrive in it, right? So I got one quick one just on a player on your team. He hasn't played much this year, but Shillington, how's he looking? I haven't really got to see him play at all, but he could be a guy that I played with him in Calgary. He had a hell of a year, but he's kind of lost his mojo a little bit the last little bit. But how's he looking?
He came out because he hadn't played in a little while when he first came in. I think there's a lot of rust early in the season. Then he started to get into a little bit of a flow. His skating is like above average, way above average, obviously, And so, seeing him on that back end, because that, for the Avs, like they want those D that can skate, can get the puck up to the forwards. And then if you can join the rush as that second wave, it's a huge difference maker. And so for me, like he got hurt and everybody at first it was okay, it's day to day. Well, now he's been out for I think close to 2 months at this point.
Yeah.
And like we just starting to see him practice and I think he's getting close to returning, but it was almost like we got just the tiniest the tiniest sliver of where he could be and the potential that he had, and then all of a sudden he had that injury that took him out of the lineup. I think he can add on the back end for sure. It's just a matter of kind of getting healthy, and it took him a little while to get comfortable, I think, in the system and to kind of get his legs back under him a little bit. And for a handful of games, he looked really good, and then all of a sudden the injury happened.
Yeah, because he'd be nice kind of down the stretch for you guys if he could get healthy. So
yeah, sure.
He can scoot. I forgot about the big Val, the big Russian train. I forgot about the big boy. Fuck, we miss him. And if we get Landy in there, if we get the big Russian train coming back, and we get Landy fella in there, we're back, baby. We're fucking back. We're back. I'm back on the back.
Yeah.
I forgot about Big Val.
You got reinforcements coming, baby. Let's go. We're good.
Altitude fucking TV. I love everything about it here. Johnny, last thing before we let you go, I got my Kits Eyewear. I think that's your Olympic bucket behind your right shoulder there, if my Kits Eyewear. Yeah. 4 Nations. We're all excited here. Me and Updog are going to try to be the drunkest guys at Canada-USA game. We're going.
Nice.
What are your thoughts on it? Are you excited? Team USA, man, they look pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be awesome. The Team USA looks great. I'm excited to see the Kachuk brothers play. Hopefully play on the wings, and whoever gets that buzzsaw, like who's the center that gets to deal with whatever chaos they create. Yeah, that's true. It's just you're sitting there looking on your wings. You're like, oh man, I know this is just going to be an absolute just glove in the face fast, and like you're just dealing with the shitstorm coming down the tracks. But I'm super excited. I think it's going to be awesome. It's cool to see best on best hockey, and the fact that we're getting it, mid season. I think it's going to be a great event. USA, Canada, seeing McKinnon and McDavid together over the summer on the same line. Seeing them together, I'm excited for just everything that it brings. And it's funny, you talk to everybody, it's like, oh, USA, Canada, Sweden, and Finland kind of, I don't know, sometimes I feel like it gets, they get kind of a little bit like sleepers, but I think Finland's going to be freaking really good too.
Yeah, before Hiskinen got hurt, I was going to bet on them. They're plus 700. Dude, that one stings them a bit, but yeah, plus 700 before he got hurt. I'm like, watch out for the Finns. They may fuck this whole tournament up here on Canada and USA.
They're always sleepers, man. You talked about my Olympic helmet. We lost them in the quarters in 2006 in Torino, and it's you looked across and Solani, guys like that. But when you looked at them, you're like, they're smart. They work hard. There's just good hockey team, right? And that's how they play. And man, sometimes that's all you need.
They're just finished machines.
They're like junkyard dogs. They don't go away. They don't go away. They're they hang in there and then they fucking get a greasy one. Fuckers.
I went over there, Johnny. I went over there and attempted to play in the fucking Finnish Elite League over there. It wasn't pretty, but I remember texting Loops and Uppy being like, I'd go watch a junior game because I was so bored in Hämeenlinna, right? And these Finnish kids would be running the rink and working out. And I'm like, heads up for Finland, boys. They're coming, and they're here. They're
2 days.
They're not on their iPads, are they? They're not on their iPads. They're fucking working.
No, it's 2 a days. I feel like every league over there does 2 a days. I remember going over there during the lockout. They were doing 2 a days, and I was like, what are we doing right now? This is not. Where's the CBA?
Yeah, no kidding. Johnny, I'll tell us real quick. So I wake up, I'm in fucking West Hollywood, Major's like, you want to play in Finland? I'm like, I'm going to take the year off. He's like, if you want to play, you better get over there. So over I go, fat as fuck, and I meet the Finnish coach, and he's kind of a fat Finnish guy. I'm like, all right, this is all right. This guy's a little chunky. He'll get it. He'll have some sympathy for me. And then he's like, hey, meet the D coach. I turn around, it's this old Finnish defenseman, bald head, one eye, just fucking jacked. He's like, be at the rink at 7:15 tomorrow. I'm like, oh God, here we fucking go. And he just worked me over, well, the entire year, but for 2 weeks straight, he worked me over to like, it was crazy. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, Johnny. It was bad,
buddy. You're a better man than me. I don't think I would have made it 2 weeks. That's yeah. I don't know. I think I would have turned around and seen that D coach and been like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I should have just got right back on air, fucking Sweden, back to Canada, back to Newport Beach is what I should have done. But hey, Johnny, man, thank you so much. Like I said, you're doing great stuff for L2 TV. Say hi to Kiefer for me, and
will do.
Man, you got me back positive with Big Val and Landy, so thank you. I was on Suey Watch here on the hours, but thanks for getting me going, bud.
Oh, no problem. I got your back, buddy. We're good. It's optimistic, right? Like there's light at the end of the tunnel.
I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Johnny, so much, bud. Good seeing you.
Fella. Of course. Hey, Mouse, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, buddy. In a big week.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Thank you to John-Michael Liles, Altitude TV, Kyle Keefe, Riker. They're all beauties. I love watching their telecasts. I haven't loved the product at times. I haven't loved my bank account because of watching them at times. But hey, listen, he's right. Big Val's coming back. I cannot wait to see Landy back. But anyways, John-Michael Liles is a class act, man, and it's always nice having him on up.
Yeah, one of the best. Good eyes on him. Good. He's got a good palate.
He does cut nice eyes.
He's got a good palate, good hair. Guy made bank. Makes a great pass. He could fucking lead a power play. And hell of a golfer, Richie. Hell of a golfer. I don't know about you, but he's got a smooth swing. A nice guy, a little scratch handicap. But no, listen, he's always great to catch up with. I'm happy for him. He's doing good things. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I love John. I want to get to play with him for a few years. Was awesome. We hung out a lot, had some fun nights together, and we're really proud of him. He's done such a good job. He's really interesting to listen to, has good takes on everything, and Altitude TV in general is great. So really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, they got a great product, and they got this new little setup for Kyle Keefe. Like it's called Altitude Live, where they sit on a couch and there's a live audience. Like
it's good.
They do nice. Yeah, they do a real nice job. So, Updog, thank you, Richie fella. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. You won't be able to shake me forever, buddy. I'll track you down. I'll fucking track you down. Kyle Conway, Hall Pass Media, Max Ice Pickup. Thank you. That was Missin Curfew, fellas.